Hello and welcome to episode 128 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Casey Gibson, and joining me this fine morning, Mr. Perry Burkum.
Talk Nintendo in the morning.
Yep, got my Talk Nintendo mug. I'm on brand here, drinking my coffee.
Nice.
And,
I got a Toe Jam and Earl mug.
Ooh, from your nice little unboxing video.
That's right.
But the reason we are recording this podcast in the morning is because we are joined by friend of the show, and truthfully, it's been too long since good old Mick Waits has been around.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, everybody.
How's it going, man?
Mick. Yeah, it's going pretty well. I've had a nice, relaxing week off the day job, which meant I could spend a lot of time playing games, which is what life should be all about. So yeah, it's good. Thanks.
That sounds amazing. I took Monday off, so I've got a nice little 3-day weekend here. So I plan on playing a bunch of video games as well.
Good stuff.
Work, man. We shouldn't have to go. That's all
yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah. I'm trying to get out of it as much as I can.
Meanwhile, Perry's like, I love my job.
I do.
Jerk. Well, that's why we call him Jerkum.
Yep. That's so funny. Well, yeah. So, I mean, if everyone doesn't know, Mick, did we say what Mick does just now? I mean, just in case people are new to the show.
No, why don't you give him the lovely rundown?
Well, Mick is he's the sole proprietor of 4 horses. He's every horse and 4 horses.
He's the stable keeper.
He's just and
I'm
the
the
4
hay.
horses.
I'm the hay.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
And they're the ones that have he made Digger Dan on the 3DS and DSi, and then he's ported Kid Trip and to 3DS and Switch, and Miles and Kilo to Switch, and he's currently working on Kid Trip or Miles and Kilo for Xbox.
Well, technically both. What I've just done recently is I've submitted a version of Miles and Kilo to Microsoft. They've sent it back saying that I didn't put some bits on a particular trailer that I needed to put on that they didn't tell me about, and now I'm waiting for them to give me access to those bits. So while I'm waiting, I've started working on Kid Trip for Vita because of reasons.
Heck yeah, dude. That's awesome. You know, like the people who play Vita are like ravenous for games, you know? So if they see a good game coming out, even if like the system, you know, is I don't want to say dead, but you know, Sony doesn't really care too much about it. You know, I still feel like that fan base is thirsty for the games.
Yeah, hopefully, and Kid Trip might be a nice fit on the smaller screen than it is on an enormous 65-inch screen that I've just got. But yeah, I mean, I want to follow it up with Miles and Kilo as well. But the reason I didn't do Miles and Kilo is because I'm having difficulty getting access to Monogame for Vita, which is Miles and Kilo's written in Monogame, whereas Kid Trip just runs in my own engine, so I just get my own engine ported over to Vita and jobs are good. So if I don't get access to Monogame, then I will simply rewrite Miles and Kilo to run on my engine, and then it'll pop out on everything, possibly even 3DS. Simple.
That's just a box you have to click, right?
Near enough, yeah. I mean,
to Switch, Perry.
Yeah,
I've made my engine to be as portable as possible. So yeah, I like the idea of doing Miles and Kilo on 3DS, but if it was just for 3DS that I'd have to do the rewrite, then it would never happen. But if I can just get it for free because I'm doing other versions via my engine, then why not?
Of course. Perfect. That's why we love you, Mick. Why not? he's still working on his the Silicon
Silicon Valley conversion, Space Station Silicon Valley.
Space Station, yeah. I was thinking Space Station Silicon Valley, yeah.
Did you ever play that, Perry?
That. You know what? I got I ordered off. Just shut up,
Jim.
Listen, I ordered actually a week and a half ago off Amazon an RGA to HDMI converter.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this will be perfect. I'll just try this, you know? Like it said it'll work on all these things. It didn't work at all. It just didn't work at all on my TV. So Yeah, it was only $10. It was kind of a too good to be true type thing. It's like, does this work?
Yeah,
like,
but for the $10, you're almost like, well, I'm willing to eat the cost if in the case it does work. You know.
Yeah, I really want to play it not on an RGA cable into my HDTV because it just
it'll look like
so
poop.
scary. So I want to play it in a better way, but I am excited to play.
Well, I guess you won't be talking about that game today then for your what you've been playing.
No, I won't.
What you haven't been playing?
Yeah, but maybe I don't know. Should we start with Mick?
Yeah, I mean he's our guest, right? Let him roll out the carpet for him.
Yeah, we're gonna do what we've been playing with Mick. And Mick, what have you been playing?
Well, obviously, being a developer who has access to Nintendo, we sometimes get our hands on things that maybe we shouldn't. And I've been playing a certain Metroid game. Okay, I'm lying. I've been playing Metroid Other M. It's one of the Metroid series that I'd managed to pass by. I think I probably was quite excited for it at the time it came out, and then saw a lot of negativity about it and just never had time to play it anyway. But particularly with you talking about it, Perry, and saying that you absolutely love it despite other people's opinions, I thought I might as well go and see if I can get my hands on it, and it's easy enough to get on the Wii U eShop, so I've booted up the Wii U for the first time in absolutely ages over last week.
That's amazing.
And I sort of got it as a birthday present, so I've been playing it since last Saturday and finished it 100%, I think, on Thursday at about midnight.
What do you mean 100%?
As in, first playthrough, got all the items 100%. I'm not bothering with hard mode.
That's still a pretty impressive feat, I'd say.
Yeah. My goodness, dude.
For getting all the items, it's the thing that it's the sort of thing I will tend to do, which is why Zelda Breath of the Wild frustrated me so much. Cause there's not enough time in the world to get 100% on that game.
All the Korok seeds.
You'd have to abandon every other game there ever was to accomplish that, or be Justin Barubi.
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. But with a game like Metroid as well, where it's a case of if you find the items, they can make your life easier. I feel compelled to do it.
Exactly. I love that. I like the missile. I love the idea of getting an upgrade to your missile. You know, and just all that. Like it's just they're all upgrades. You know, they're not just meaningless collectibles.
Yes. Yeah, 100%. So yeah, that's what I did. I've played it through this week.
So did you like it?
I didn't hate it.
Yeah, tell us about what you liked and what you didn't like.
Well, I like the fact that it's Metroid. I like the fact that it is the sort of game that I do like to keep playing. I do like to explore. I do like to solve the puzzles. It's the only Metroid game that I've ever got 100% of the items without referring to a player's guide, I think, is Zero Mission. And this one, there was an item I could see and I just couldn't work out how to get it, and I got frustrated, so I ended up looking up on the internet. But that is the sort of thing I like, so that's the sort of thing I like about this game. I like a thing I particularly noticed with the first Metroid game that I ever played was that I quite like the way they tend to reward you when you get upgrades. You feel like you've actually got an upgrade, and it's good to go back through areas where you'd struggled before, and your new weapons just let you blast a path through without too much difficulty.
Totally.
And I quite simply, I love the franchise. I do really enjoy it, and I am super excited for
Nintendo's coolest franchise. I've always what I've kind of.
What's cool is they could be so atmospheric with it, you know, like just the environments and the worlds. I mean, I guess you could still see that in the 2D versions, but I really think like in like the Prime games, like just how cool it is to go through those 3D environments, and it's, you know, like the really cool, you know, ambient music going on, and it's just the feeling of isolation. I've never actually played Other M. That was, like I said, if there's a lull in my Nintendo gaming catalog, it's sort of during that Wii era. So I missed out on Other M. And yeah, it's funny because I do hear such polarizing opinions on it. You know, some people hate it. When you said a Metroid game or games you shouldn't be playing, I was going to say I bet a bunch of people would agree that Other M is a game you shouldn't be playing.
Yeah.
But then I hear people who absolutely love it. So, you know, I know Perry's a big fan. So I really would like to, at one point in my life, be able to put in that time, you know, to, how long is it? I mean, I know you might be skewed a little higher because you 100%ed it, but...
Yeah, that's true.
If I remember rightly, last time I looked at the save screen, it said about 24 hours. Oh,
geez.
See, that's not even that bad for 100%, though.
For 100%, yeah, that's a lot.
I mean, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's a lot of time, but, I mean, I guess coming from RPGs, I'm thinking 24 for 100% isn't bad, because you could probably beat the game in, like, I'm guessing maybe 12 to 15 if you're not 100%ing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, there's certain areas I definitely spent a little while. There was one sort of puzzle room that I must have spent at least 20 minutes in there trying to work out how to get through. If you want to play it just for the experience, I wouldn't think any worse of you if you sort of used a guide just to make sure you didn't get stuck too often, but got through the game at a reasonable speed.
Yeah, I remember playing. This was such a hyped game. This was like the golden era of the Wii. I remember that year when they had it, or maybe this was like the year before. Well, yeah, it was like around that time where it was like this was coming out, Donkey Kong Country, the Returns, Kirby's Epic Yarn, and Mario Party Sports Mix, and GoldenEye were all like in the same year. And I had gotten, like, I was so hyped for every single one of those. And this one especially, and I remember, and I think I've told this before, but just quickly, I remember, like, getting it in the mail right before I had to go to work.
Oh, no.
Like, okay, I'll come back and play. It'll be amazing. I get to work, and I see, and it's one of the couple times in 10 years where I went there and went, oh, my goodness, I'm actually not even scheduled to work.
Oh, my God.
So,
I mean, that was probably...
I was like, I am going home, and I am playing Metroid.
I was going to say, what a roller coaster of emotions, you know? I've got it.
Exactly.
Oh, I've got work.
I just remember being the giddiest and happiest of lads driving home.
I bet you, did you grab something delicious to eat too?
I probably did.
That would have been, I would have been like, all right, I'm getting Burger King, I'm getting a Whopper, and I'm going to sit my big butt on the couch all day.
Yeah, you know what? I think I totally did, yeah. But, and then I remember I was glued to this game. And I really enjoyed it. Yes, some of the cutscenes are kind of cringy, but they're not like compared to any anime like thing. They're not bad. I mean, like that was, I guess the biggest thing was that it's Samus and that it's, you know, that she's like her vow of silence is over, or you know, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, whatever. Like, you have a character of who she is, but it's like it's not like it's totally off the charts of who I expected she could be. I don't know. It's not a big deal, I guess, to me.
I personally thought the voice acting for Samus was a little poor.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, but like,
I wonder
show me good voice acting in a game. I don't think I've even ever heard. I mean, The Last of Us, maybe.
Well, I was gonna say was it poor because it's just odd to hear Samus talking, you know? Because I almost feel like if they've given Link a true voice, it could be a really great voice actor, but I still feel like people are going to be like, it's weird, you know? Like,
exactly.
Like there would always be criticisms whether it was actually like a really good job or not, you know?
For me, I think it was definitely not just because I didn't expect it to sound like that. That some of the lines, the emphasis on the words, the delivery is just off.
Totally.
Just not right.
No,
it totally is. Stale.
Okay.
It's almost like monotonous the way she talks, and it's like annoying.
So you can sort of tell she was in like a VO room.
And then he didn't like this, and it's just the way, and it's kind of like, okay, let's just keep going. Yeah, I mean, the cutscenes look really good though. For all that, I mean, I think they look great.
Yeah, they really do. I mean, that was something I was surprised at. I don't know whether the Wii U upscales it or whether my TV's upscaling it.
No, it looked really good from the get-go. I mean,
the visuals are absolutely great. You can't fault them.
I mean, the production quality, right, is amazing on that whole game. Now, and the crazy part of the game, right, is, I mean, this is one of the weirdest Nintendo games I think ever made, because you play it with a single Wii remote.
Yes.
Like NES.
Really?
And then when you aim the pointer at the screen, it turns into a first-person shooter, basically.
That is so strange.
It is so, you can't move though, so you're stationary there, right?
I think. I mean, this is one of the bugbears I had. There's a few things that I took exception to, and the controls were one of the main ones. There's sort of I picked out about 3, possibly even 4 states for your control. So there's your standard control where you hold the control sideways, you use the D-pad to move around, and Samus pretty much auto locks onto any enemy, so you can shoot things without too much difficulty. So it sort of simulates the 2D aspects of the action aspects of a 2D Metroid, and it's perfectly fine, apart from when you're in some pretty tough combat situations. That D-pad really starts to hurt the thumb.
And that's what I was going to say.
And it's like, please, could I just have a nunchuck?
Exactly. Honestly, and that's the part I was going to say is like, I mean, the actual, like, the control of Samus, like you feel good, like you shoot the targets you want to do, and it feels good, like that, like you feel like you're in control, but it just hurts your finger because of the D-pad. So it's like, I wish they could have, if they would have just had it on a whatever it's called, a nunchuck, called a Joy-Con. But yeah, I mean, obviously that's the big, because you're controlling. I mean, who wants to control a 3D environment with a D-pad? I mean, no one wants to do that. And you know, so it's like Mario 64 DS, like controlling it, like it's just, it doesn't make any sense. So for sure that's an issue. Now keep going with your control schemes.
So the next one is first person sort of searching the scene or aiming, where you've got to quickly point at the screen. You've got a cursor, you can hold down the trigger button underneath, and that lets you scroll around. Sometimes it locks your view. But the issue I had with this was there's certain bosses, certain enemies where you've got to fight them in the side-on 2D view, and then you've got to switch to the first-person view, and then got to switch back. And it tries to help out when it switches between. You get a period of slow-mo so that you get time to adjust and get your cursor where you want it. But there's so many times where he was trying to lock onto a boss to fire off a missile or whatever, and I couldn't do it fast enough, and it missed the opportunity, and it became a bit of an exercise in frustration. That's a shame. I so wish they could have done a bit more with that. But then the next mode is you walk into certain areas, and Samus inexplicably sort of walks with her arm up, and it goes to third person over shoulder view. And all you can do is walk around. You can't shoot, you can't aim. I think you can go first person view. It's just like Resident Evil 4.
That's so weird.
And it's, what's the point? I mean, there's 2 areas on the station that you're exploring that I believe are basically toilets. So Samus
I think it's
goes into the bathroom and walks around, sort of just looking around. It's a bit odd.
Well, I think there was some. I know that there's some cinematography. What am I looking for? Cinematic parts that are introduced in that mode. So I think it's supposed to kind of slow you down and just put a different perspective on it, so that you can see more of Samus, and then go into that. I mean, it's super weird though, and it feels so weird on the D-pad.
They couldn't figure it out.
You can't do anything.
They wanted to get as many perspectives as possible.
It sure does. It sure does show off that beautiful model though of just the visuals look so good in the game. But it is bizarre.
2 of the places where it does that, at least that I can remember, it even locks your movement. You can only walk forwards. So there's only one control that works. So it's basically a cutscene that you can pause by not walking forward. And one of the things that sort of made me laugh, one of the times it does that, you see someone, and Samus tries to follow them and stop them getting away, essentially. And instead of running about like she has all through the game up to that point, she figures the best thing to do is walk really slowly with her gun pointing at the ceiling. So it's like, just run. You'll catch her easily. But I sort of laughed at it. I got frustrated at the game in places. I found some of the moves in combat quite difficult to pull off as well. There's sort of some set pieces where when you stun enemies, you can jump on them and it'll do a finishing move. But again, due to the 2D controls, I found that a bit frustrating at times.
Yeah, it can be. Yeah, totally. Like, Casey, there's these ones. I mean, it looks, when you can pull it off, and it looks and feels really cool. Like Like, there's like those Metroid, the big enemies with the big legs that hop around.
Mm-hmm.
And like, so you hit them enough, and then once I forgot exactly how you trigger it, but you jump on them, and then it cuts to like, like a finishing cut, like a really cool shot, and you just shove the blaster down right on their face and just explode them. It's amazing. But yeah, it's frustrating because you don't have the control that you'd like to be able to finish those. Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, I've enjoyed the game. I have played it through to completion, but it is down there at the bottom of my favorite Metroid games, I'm afraid.
But you still enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did. I wouldn't
really
have kept
honestly,
going back to it, I don't think.
I really love a lot of the cool things they do with, like, just even with the environment and stuff in the game. They do a lot of like there's parts where, because the whole thing, does the whole thing take place on a ship, on a planet?
Yeah, on a single station, right? Yeah. But they've got some environment
on a space
set
station.
Up.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's so cool because in that station, Casey, they'll have you will have a actual like wilderness that is being simulated, like a VR wilderness type thing. And there's parts where like you turn it on and turn it off, and it's like, whoa, I actually am not in a forest. I'm in just this big, scientific.
So is it supposed to be like a training area, like to simulate?
No, it's like they're testing out
biological
like
experiments.
Yeah, biological experiments.
Okay,
exactly.
Okay.
So it's like the things do exist in some way. Like they're not like not there. It's just it's weird. But then there's a really cool story with Ridley that I actually really thought was like, kind of like what, and I like that aspect of it from the beginning. There's a lot of parts of the game that, and they get all the different, the snowy parts and all the craziness. And I just think that the scope of the game is so cool, limited by the Wii remote and the funky changing to the, first person, which I love that concept. Like I really, truly love it. I mean, how much better would it have been if you could just hit a button and then switch?
It's so weird that they decided to make
analog.
you use just the or just the NES style Wii mode.
Right.
Yeah. Like that's a strange.
I know.
Like I guess maybe they were thinking it'd be more accessible to everyone, like, oh, it's so easy to pick up, But it seems like if that was an option, that would be great, But like you said, like let you use the nunchuck, the nunchuck or something,
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, obviously, if you're using the nunchuck, then you're always kind of pointing at the screen, so then they can't use that as the trigger to start the first person. Now, I mean, if you think about Metroid Prime, you think of it as a first-person game, but I mean, there's actually a lot of third-person stuff with your ball,
Yeah, when
you get into a third-person view,
rolling around.
That's the ingenious part of Metroid. I think that's what gives it its scope and its uniqueness. And yeah, Metroid Prime is just one of my favorite games of all time. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I'm not saying I want this or I don't want this or anything. But like, if they did for Metroid Prime 4, if they even introduced something where you actually can play as Samus, like third person, that might be kind of cool, and switch and play as first person. I don't know how they do that exactly. It might be kind of stilted. Anyway, I think that the whole system is really cool and it's really freeing, and the design of Other M was just really neat. And I remember I love that game, and I played through it. And beat it, and then I just immediately played through it again.
Nerd.
I think it was on the hard mode. Just immediately, right? I remember it, and I played through the whole game again. And I've only done that with that game and a couple others. I know one of them was Bionic Commando.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah.
I knew that one.
And A Link Between Worlds, I think. Those are the 3 games I've done that. So
I think I've only wanted to do that once with Persona 4, but Persona 4 is like a super long game, so I didn't. I was like, nope.
Wow, that's amazing. I can't believe you beat that and want to play it again.
Yeah, it was insane, really.
Yeah,
that's why I was like, yeah, normally I beat a game and I'm, like not happy to be done with it, but more or less happy to be done with it. Like, all right, I beat that, I can move on to the next thing. And that was one where I was like seriously tempted to play it again. But I was like, I already invested 60 or I forget how many hours that game took, but
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Well, Mick, I'm so happy that you played Other M. I really am. And it's fun to hear someone's reaction to it that didn't play it when it came out. And
yeah.
Man, what was that, like 10 years ago? That was 10
Probably,
years ago.
it would be around then for sure.
I've got a horrible feeling it's even more. I remember seeing the date come up when it loaded.
2010. It was August 31st, 2010. It was released.
That's right.
In August 31st, 2010. Yeah, for North America, and then in September for the rest of the world.
Nice. But yeah, thank you for talking about that. I love an excuse to talk about Other M. I'm a huge fan of that game. It's one of my favorite Metroid games, I think. But I mean, I have a lot of favorite Metroid games, so.
To sort of keep on pace with Mick going with an older game, I too have been playing an older game, a game released 19 years ago on a PlayStation. Yes.
I think I know what it is.
Yep, I have.
Metal Gear Solid.
How'd you know?
Yeah.
No, I have been playing the recently released for the first time on a Nintendo console, Final Fantasy IX. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so this Final Fantasy's always been a series I've adored. You know, I have not played like a ton of them, but I've always been fascinated. You know, way back in the day, my neighbor, like I've said before, they had a PlayStation, so it's like they had those staples. They had Final Fantasy VII, they had Final Fantasy 8 and 9. You know, I've seen them play it, and it was one of those like, well, I can't really play it, but I'm super into that series, you know, like I wish they would come back to Nintendo. So now that they're finally coming back to Nintendo consoles and being re-released here, I'm most excited for 7, but with 9, I was like, all right, like I could get down with that. And then especially a bunch of the guys are playing it, Jordan and David. And I think Neil picked it up too. They're gonna do a Thirsty Mage episode all about Final Fantasy IX. So I was like, you know what? I'll bite. It's been a hot minute since I've played a nice juicy RPG. And this is a game I actually probably one of the Final Fantasy games I've actually pretty much seen the entire game through. I got up to I think the final boss, and at the time when I played this originally, I'm trying to think. It had to be over a decade ago when I picked up like a PlayStation after it was relevant, you know, get on the down low. And I got up to the final boss, and I guess that was a point in my life where I was like, well, I've wasted 40 hours of my life, but I'll be damned if I waste another hour training for this final boss. It's stupid kid.
You're not going to get that over me.
Yeah, nope. I'm the winner here. I've dived back in. I've been playing about 6 hours. I think I'm coming up towards the end of Disc 1. And it's fun. I'm enjoying it, but you could definitely tell this is an older game. It's turn-based combat, which I love, but what's a little annoying is like it's very slow to start sometimes. So you'll get into a battle, and even just like I've had it where there's like 5 seconds of sort of like a black screen before like the beginning animation starts, you know? I don't know if that's like a weird issue with the port to Switch, or if that's just this is how it was and they didn't go back and like fix, you know what I mean? I'm not sure, but to get into battle sometimes takes a little bit of time, which can be a little annoying. Especially like you'll get in and then all of a sudden the animations will be done and then you need to wait for your gauge to fill up before you can even attack. So some battles feel sort of drawn out in the beginning because it's like I wish, like I get we need to charge up our attacks, but it's almost like I wish we just started the battle at 3/4 full, like only had to wait a couple seconds and go, and like the enemy can start at that same point, so like no one's getting an advantage. It's just getting us into the action a little quicker, you know. But aside from that, the combat, like I said, it's pretty fun. It's got the turn-based. You got your skills and stuff, and I know there are a bunch of different party members. I've already picked up a couple along the way, and essentially the game starts out where you're sort of in like this band or this traveling like show where you're going to this one city to perform a play for the entire city. So everyone's super stoked about it.
Set up for every Final Fantasy game.
Yep. And the idea is you are actually there to kidnap the princess. And you're going to be putting on the play, and then while the play is going on, you're going to like knock her out with some like sleeping medicine, and then kidnap her away, and then you guys are going to fly out of the city on your big airship. But unfortunately, things go a little haywire, and like your ship gets sort of shot down and stuff. But what's strange is when you go to pick up the princess, she actually wants to be kidnapped. Like she wants to escape out of the city. So you're like, oh, okay, like she's gonna willingly come with us. Like this is sort of strange. And then you guys are trying to escape, and then your airship shot down, and then you find yourself sort of stuck in this evil forest, which nobody escapes from, Perry. Nobody, except for us.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm not gonna go too much more into story stuff. I mean, I know it's an older game and whatnot, but essentially, like you're trying to get to this other city, and then the events of the story keep playing out that way. But yeah, I mean the characters I think are pretty enjoyable. I really like Vivi, who is a black mage, and he's got like a cool hat and like weird like his. Do you know what Vivi looks like? I'm sure if you saw him, you'd be oh okay, I've definitely seen that before. And he's got like a coat on, and like his. Like between
his name's Vivi?
Vivi, V-I-V-I. And between like his hat and the shirt, it's just like sort of like a shadowy with like black figure with just two big eyes,
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he's like super nervous and shy, and it's funny to see like the other characters encourage him, you know what I mean? And they're like, "Come on, Vivi, like you don't have to be so afraid." Because he's a bit, a black mage.
Like
he's got his black magic powers, and yeah, he's one of my favorite characters. I remember from the first time around, so revisiting and seeing him again has been enjoyable. But
nice.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, aside from some of the just sort of taking time to get into things, I've been enjoying it otherwise. David actually put up a pretty cool video on Nintendo World Report comparing the Switch version to the original PlayStation version, and it is crazy. The difference. It is so dark on the original PlayStation. Just like seeing the characters walk through like a hallway, and you're like, oh my god, you could barely even see the character like towards the back end of the screen because it's so dark. And then the new version is much more lit up and much nicer, really. But yeah, Final Fantasy IX. I'm sure I will talk about this. I sort of probably give quick bite updates as I'm chugging along here. It is a pretty long game, so it might take me a while. But on top of that, we're gonna have a full-on like spoiler cast episode on the Thirsty Mage coming like in a month or so too. So if you really want to hear more about that, I'll mention when that's all ready to rock and roll. But nice. I know Perry isn't really a Final Fantasy RPG kind of guy. Mick, do you like to dabble?
I've never really got into the Final Fantasy games. I tried with one of the earlier ones on Game Boy, but it never grabbed me. But RPGs often don't really sort of full involved ones like that. I think the last one I got into was the first Golden Sun back on the
Game Boy Advance. Yeah, so
like 30 years ago.
Well, that was a really good game.
I was drawn in by the beautiful graphics.
Yeah.
No, that was a great game. That would be. I know people have been clamoring. I feel like that would be a great game for a remake. Sort of like Link to the Past, or not Link to the Past, Link's Awakening. Imagine they gave that a full-on update, remaster like that. That would be pretty cool.
Yeah, man.
That could be interesting. Yeah. Yeah, they'd have to do those graphics some real justice though, because they were gorgeous first time.
No, I remember playing Golden Sun back in the day too. Whew, what, man?
I played a few years ago. I got Golden Sun because I had never tried it. I got the DS one, which I think is the third in the series. I guess there's
I think the originals are better.
Well, did you play the DS one then?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I played them all. I will admit that my memory is hazy on those games, you know, so I wouldn't be able to go back and pinpoint tell you what happened, but I was into the series back then, so.
Right, and the game is gorgeous, by the way, on the DS. Really cool art style. You should look it up. But I remember playing through the game, and I couldn't understand how the game worked. Like I just couldn't like you'd find these spells and then these moves, and then you'd give them and you'd put them on a guy, but then and then he would learn this move, but then when you die, they'd be gone. And just kind of a lot of stuff like that.
Well, don't die then.
The game just the game just didn't make any sense. On a lot of levels and I played 5 hours of it, and I was the dungeons is I dig how this game looks and feels, but I don't really understand this combat system. I don't understand it, and so I just stopped playing it, which is just weird. But
hey, if it doesn't grab you, and move on.
Yeah,
I mean, you put your time in.
I guess I could look up a guide, and figure out exactly. And I think I even tried, but it was still hazy and didn't hit me. So yeah, but with Final Fantasy, I've never played one, so I'm with Mick. But
I wonder if when Crystal Chronicles comes out, do we know if that's gonna have online play? I'm forgetting.
I don't think so, but I assume it will.
Because if it
crazy if it didn't, right?
A remaster version's coming to the Switch and PlayStation 4. Because if that were
if it's coming to PS4.
Because if that were to have online cooperative play, I feel like that would be a fun one. Having never played a Final Fantasy game, I feel like that would be a fun introduction to be able to play a couple of us. You know what I mean? Get online and play the game, and that would be fun. Like I said, I think that would be a good introduction into the series.
For sure. I think, especially if it's cooperative. And,
dude,
that would be amazing.
I remember in high school playing Crystal Chronicles back with our Game Boy Advances and the cable links. And I remember going over, and it was I was friendly with this guy, in school, I wasn't really friends with him, but our friends were friends, I guess. And I remember going to his house and all four of us playing Crystal Chronicles for hours on end. Whew. Good lord.
That's amazing. Yeah. Yeah, man. That sounds like so much fun. But yeah, I'll be looking forward to Crystal Chronicles, and it's good to hear that Nine's doing good for you.
Oh yeah, look at this. I'm looking at the comments on the trailer for Crystal Chronicles. Online play looks cool, but I hope there's local player as well. So that might be a game we have to look into.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what have you been playing something new, or are you like Mick and I with our old games?
I've been playing something that's not out yet.
Ooh.
Actually, you know what? I need to make sure that I think I might not be able to talk about it.
Pick something old, quick.
Yeah, I know. Let me just.
What game?
Toe Jam and Earl.
Yeah, when's that come out? No, yeah, because I feel like doesn't Neil have the review up on NWR TV already?
Does he?
I see 15 minutes co-op play. Yeah. If he could post that, I bet you could talk about it. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I guess we should.
No, I think there's an actual
Bargy.
Yeah, just hold on 1 second. I can. Oh, I put it back in the box.
Killing us,
what?
Perry.
Let's just be safe and not talk about it because I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to.
Do you have anything else to talk about? We could talk a little Reg.
Oh, I do know what I can talk about. Actually, oh my goodness. I don't want to talk about Reg. Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. I've been playing Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. Yeah, so if you remember, Mick, have you played this game?
I've not played the new one yet. I've played the original Wonder Boy. I mean, I love the original Wonder Boy arcade game, and then the the sort of Mega Drive, and was it Game Gear games as well? I can't remember which one it was I used to play, but it was more like an adventure where you'd stop and go into shops and buy items and things. I used to love that, and I'm guessing that's what this is a bit of a remake of.
This is a remake of Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap.
Now, is this the one we got to play at PAX?
It's called Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. No, that's Monster Boy.
Okay, gotcha.
That's the one that just came out. It's very weird, right? But it's the same. Monster Boy is the take off the Wonder Boy series, but it's something about the name they couldn't get. I don't know. It's one of those weird things.
So weird.
But reminds me of like that Harvest Life and the new Story of Seasons. It's kind of like that, where like the Story of Seasons is actually the new Harvest Life. Anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is Wonder Boy. This came out in 2017. I know. Pretty early in the Switch lineup, but I think what happened, I don't know what was going on with me then, but at that time I thought that, $20, it was $20 on the eShop. It might have been, maybe I was hoping for a physical.
That was probably what it was.
Maybe
if I know Perry, that's exactly what it was.
And I was like, this game looks really cool, but maybe for being a 2-hour or 3-hour or whatever 4-hour game for $20, I was like, I can't justify that purchase. Silly deluded old Perry. And cut forward to where I bought the physical version for probably 30.
I paid even more for that 4 or 5 hours.
I did that a couple months ago, and I gotta say that this is definitely contender, if not my winner, for the best looking Switch physical game there is. The box art, the front and back is just phenomenal. I love it. And then I was
going to say, is this one that you can switch the graphics on the fly?
Maybe. Yes, it is. I'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like Chicken Wiggle, actually. This might be the contender for the best looking Switch game. And I'm serious. Like, I'm not even kidding. This game is so pretty. Like, the actual game. Like, it's unbelievable. And, like, mixed in with the amazing soundtrack. So, and then to top it off, you can switch and just see how the original looks. And the original looks really good, too. I think is it a Master System game? This is going to show my age, but what are the games with like that grid pattern on them?
Those are the Sega. Well, because the Master System is actually because I think because in America the Master System is called something different. I think. Right?
You're not thinking the Genesis?
All right.
The Genesis and Mega Drive had different names in different territories.
Okay, is that what I'm thinking? Okay, yeah.
Might be, yeah. The Master System was the first version. It was the 8-bit. It probably, if you're saying the game looks blocky and tiled, it may well be from the Master System because obviously it had less memory, so less variation.
It's Master System.
Yeah, and they all had that. Yeah, the Master System had that sort of graph papery, right? On the boxes.
And that's what I was talking about. Yeah, and if you look at the box art,
right, I'm with you.
The original box art of the Sega Wonder Boy 3,
yeah, they all have.
It doesn't say Master System, but it even says like it's an action game. It has that in the top left corner,
dude,
and it features with password save.
Well, it's so funny to look at. Like I just Googled like Sega Master System box art, and they're just so. Like I appreciate that they were like, we're gonna go for a uniform look, like everyone's gonna. But why the graph paper?
I know it's so
weird. Boring.
It is.
But
it really is.
Gangster Town, and it's just like graph paper with like one guy shooting a Tommy gun.
Right, and that's why if you guys look up the Dragon's Trap, if you look up Wonder Boy, the Dragon's Trap Switch, the cover it even has an ode to that on the bottom, but it covers it all up. You can see. Like it has the graph paper at the bottom. So
yeah,
Nicholas published it physically, and oh my goodness, it's just marvelous. And the manual inside, it's just amazing. And so I was like, finally, yes, I beat Knights of Pen and Paper. I was like, looking through my games, like this is exactly what I want. I want like a juicy, fun, historical platformer that is relatively quick. And then I put it in, and it's just like, this game is so so gorgeous, and honestly, the music just as much as the visuals, and the gameplay is fantastic. And I actually another part that pushed me off is a lot of people were saying like yeah, it's really fun, but it really shows its age as well because it's the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's the same game, and I remember like hearing like I don't want to have to deal with like all the weirdness of like old platformers, like it's like they're unfair or like they just really janky
punishing,
and the systems, or like you don't know what to do. Like, not that that's bad, but it's just like that's not what I was in the mood for at the time. And I'm playing it now, and I mean, I guess there's some things like it's difficult because if you die, you go back to like the hometown, and then you got to travel all the way there. But the game's not like too hard, and the controls are so nice that it's not bad at all. So I really thought it's like, man, I don't think this really shows its age at all. I think it shows
holds
how
up pretty well.
The game is. Yeah, and the cool thing is you don't even realize it because of the how much the animation helps. But it's just like it's the same physics as the original game, and it's just like it's unbelievable. You switch over, the difference that makes of making a game feel like it's a brand new, fresh experience just because of the visuals is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also switch back to the retro music if you click on the R.
I like that too.
You can. It's very cool, very very cool. And I was just playing, and you have these gorgeous environments after gorgeous environment of these hand painted visuals. Just seriously, it's so worth playing through. And then you get as the gameplay goes, you get different. See, I was kind of under the impression that, because like the Monster Boy thing, you can change into the different monsters, right? Remember that? How you go into like the frog or whatever. This one, you do change into different monsters, but I don't think you can switch back. It's like part of the game. Like the first part of the game, it's like you go and then you become, what was the first one? You become just a monster, a goblin. You're a boy, and then you become a goblin, and then you play through the game, go to where kind of like Metroidvania style, kind of. I mean, like you go to the path that you can go with the goblin, unlock, beat the boss, unlock a new monster thing that you turn into, and then you go to the next thing. But I don't think you're ever switching back. You can't switch between them. I'm pretty sure, unless I'm a really big,
unless you're
idiot,
a big dumb idiot.
Yeah, which might be it might. That's very well maybe.
Odds are that is fact.
Yeah. So let's just say you can. No, and I kind of was just when you get mesmerized in the game and you sit there and you're just really enjoying your time and you're just feeling like life couldn't get any better. That's the kind of feeling I was having while playing because it's just so much fun. And I really, really love the game. Honestly, it's like one of those things of like, you're playing like a new game that you love, that you discovered that you love it, and you're like, this is the best game on the Switch. Like that's like where I'm at. I was like, this is like one of my favorite games on the Switch. So I'm in Hypeville right now about the game. But I would highly encourage anyone who loves, who appreciates a good soundtrack and graphics and hand painted. I mean, it just looks really good. And honestly, it really inspired me was it really reminded me a lot of Chicken Wiggle, of what Chicken Wiggle's doing. I mean, it's kind of funnily enough, it's taking the 16-bit, 8-bit type game, remastering it, and you can switch between them on the fly. It's really neat. And I'm really excited for that. Just for that concept of like how that's going to look. And I just know that me and Casey, we played at PAX Chicken Wiggle, and it was like really hyping for me because it was really cool seeing the new visuals. And then we just saw them, just some of them. We just saw some of the assets in there. A lot of them were still not put into that version that we played. And I just can't wait to play Chicken Wiggle. So shameless plug for Chicken Wiggle.
The Chicken Wiggle podcast.
Yeah, absolutely. What would we call the Chicken Wiggle podcast?
The Chicken Wiggle podcast. Talk Chicken Wiggle.
Podcast. Talk chicken. Talk chicken. Talk wiggle.
To wiggle.
But yeah, I haven't finished. I had to get called away. I played for a couple hours, so I got pretty good into the game. I gotta finish it yet, so I'll probably give a little quick bite update on Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap for the Switch next week.
Sweet giblets.
Sweet giblets. But yeah, I think we hit right in that middle time frame that I said that we probably would. with Mick here. Mick, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem at all. Glad to be here.
We love having you on. It sucks that you live in the UK purely because the time zone difference with the UK is just awful with America.
Yeah.
I wish you lived in Australia, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, or America.
Isn't Australia more awkward?
Oh, no, it's so much better because we record at night.
Well, it depends for
when we record at night,
person.
It's like, it does depend on the person. It does.
Because if he had work in the morning, then that wouldn't work at all.
Well, he'd just have to blow it off.
He'd have to call in sick.
That's right.
I just need to get retired. That's what I need to do.
Retirement,
Right.
I can't wait.
Don't bring it up. Don't bring up retirement.
Why not?
Reggie.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry.
I'm so actually quick before you go, Mick. Are you one of those people that doesn't like Reggie?
I'm completely indifferent to Reggie. I've not had any positive or negative experiences with him, other than the fact that I have no idea how to pronounce his surname, even though I've heard lots of people do it. So I'm quite happy with the new guy. I can say Bowser really easily.
Doug Bowser, nice and straightforward.
Can you believe that?
I mean, it is brilliant.
That?
I've pointed out to Microsoft that my surname's Master Chief, so hopefully I'll be taking over there soon.
I love it. Yeah, that'd be great.
That's the same thing, though. I mean, like, it's just it's crazy. There's a Bowser is the president of Nintendo.
It's brilliant. I mean, even the BBC News picked up on that one and ran a story with it.
Oh, I saw. Was it the Seattle Times or something? Did you guys see that? There's this funny little thing going on Twitter that they picked up the story, and it was like the most like ignorant press thing. It was like Doug Bowser is the new president of Nintendo, and then like the abstract underneath it was like, yes, the new president is named after a Pokemon.
Oh, that's
swing and a miss.
I know.
That's
so
amazing.
Funny.
Real quick to double back
on
the Microsoft talk. Did you guys see these rumors about potentially Game Pass and Microsoft exclusives coming to the Switch?
Yeah, what is that?
Well, yeah,
That's
a couple of
weird.
weeks ago, I actually saw a rumor about Xbox Live achievements coming to the Switch. And funnily enough, I actually submitted some text to the eShop because when I originally wrote the eShop text for Miles and Kilo, I did a bit of a shoddy job. I was trying to cut down on translation costs, I think. And I didn't really put a lot of text there, but we expanded it for the Xbox store. So I thought, I might as well put the same text on the Nintendo store as well, since I've now paid for it and got it translated. So I went and submitted it without reading through it, and it mentioned that the game supports Xbox Live achievements and leaderboards. So yeah, Nintendo bounced that back and said, nope. Can you remove that?
No.
Well, but pretty soon they're going to be like, we need you to put in the Xbox Live achievement. We need you to put it back.
Do you know what? I'm really hoping all these rumors turn out to be true. They're talking about Game Pass and things like that.
It'd be incredible.
Well, if I can get to the point where Miles and Kilo is just about ready to launch on Xbox and Windows 10 when they go live with any announcement, it'd be quite nice to see if I can get Miles and Kilo on one of the Game Pass games as you can get this game on both platforms.
Yeah, that was the most interesting thing to me, was if the Game Pass comes, there are first and foremost, Game Pass is incredible. They are releasing...
It's too good, actually.
Yeah, they're
it's
like,
too good.
these brand new games that like are our big boy exclusives, they're coming out to Game Pass, and you can get Game Pass first month for like $2, So it's just insane, the
you
value.
Can get yearly for like the cost of the one game.
It's
it's
insane.
It's just stupid.
And what's crazy is if like you said, say Miles and Kilo were to be a Games Pass game, right? So therefore everyone on Xbox that has Game Pass gets Miles and Kilo for free. Now, if you could use your Game Pass games on the Switch, how does that work with something like you're selling Miles and Kilo on the eShop, So that's what I'm most interested with Nintendo, is like, how do they sort of work that? Because, there are going to be, I think Rocket League is a Games Pass game. So therefore, you know what I mean? Like, I just have my Games Pass. I'm never going to buy Rocket League on Switch because I just get it for free through Games Pass, which now I could play on the Switch.
Well, Yeah.
So I wonder, like,
honestly,
if they would, like, would they like bar? You could play any game on Games Pass that isn't available on the eShop. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's. I mean, I'm sure that's something they'd probably like to do. Is that something that's enforceable? You know, I don't know.
Maybe
I think we're getting a little ahead of everything.
Well, but
maybe they do it as a tiered system, and to get Switch access as well, you have to pay a bit extra, and that goes off to Nintendo. But who knows?
That could be.
Who knows how it'd work?
Maybe. Yeah, I'm just thinking like this would all be done via streaming though.
Yeah,
right?
well, that's
what they talked
I'm pretty
about.
sure isn't Games Pass streaming.
Oh, is it? I didn't know.
I'm not aware of that.
I don't know. I don't have an Xbox One, so I this is all just going off sort of things I've heard. Maybe not. I could be wrong on that. Maybe it would just be streaming for Switch and other platforms, and you can actually download it on your Xbox One. But yeah, I mean, regardless, I think it's super interesting. And it's funny to see Nintendo and Microsoft sort of teaming up, or Microsoft allowing Nintendo to do this and sort of be like, well, if we team up, we could take down the man that is Sony. And I'm all right with it.
Yeah, that's funny. Why are you all right with that?
Hey, if I could play cool Xbox games on my Switch, I'm not gonna say no.
Rare replay, man.
Rare replay. I saw Ori and the Blind Forest.
Would be a sweet physical.
That game looks super cool.
Yeah.
What was the other one? Cuphead. I would totally be down to try Cuphead. You know, these are games that would be sweet to play on my Switch. You know, like they're the games if I had an Xbox I would play, but you know I don't have an Xbox and I don't want to play those games. You know, bad enough to buy an Xbox. So I'm okay with it,
I just wonder how and if this is like, I just wonder how this whole streaming thing's gonna be. You know what I mean? Like, no matter what, I'm still interested, even if it's streaming. But I just hope it works.
Yeah, we will. I guess time will tell.
But I mean, I just think this whole thing's kind of crazy, right? Like, kind of insane, and it could just be a huge rumor that's. I don't know.
Could be, but yeah, I think I've seen them like multiple sources. You know, so who knows? We'll have to.
Yeah, but we had multiple sources on GameCube Virtual Console.
It's coming,
Day
baby.
One on Switch too.
Don't give up hope.
Exactly. Okay, I won't. I won't give up hope. But we are gonna say goodbye to Mick. Goodbye, Mick.
Goodbye,
Bye.
Mick. Thank you again for joining us. Always a pleasure.
Yeah, tell everyone where they can find you on the Twitter and stuff.
You can find me at 4Horses Games on Twitter, or 4horses.co.uk for my cheesy website for the.
Now that's 4 horses. That's the number 4 and a Z instead of the S in horses.
Horses.
No.
No,
it's the word for.
It's the word, and there's no Z's.
Spelt normally.
No Z's.
4 horses games. Games. It's the Z is in games. Games. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I think one of the places I used to work had a Z for games.
Oh no.
Oh yeah.
I think they did.
Oh yeah, that reminds me. I was gonna say, Mick, if you ever need your stuff translated from British to American, I'll do that for free.
Free of charge. Yeah.
I can do that myself.
Perry and I will crack our heads against it for hours on end, but for you, we do it for free.
Just misspell everything and it's fine.
Why are there Z's all over?
And why are there? Yeah, you gotta get rid of all these U's. There's just too many U's. What's color?
Favor? What?
Favor? Favor? Just kidding. I like to use.
If
Just
you like wasting time, right?
Like
more
Fraser says,
U's.
I spell color with a U. All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, I believe we don't know what it is, but it could be the new eShop Roundup. I'm not sure. Bye, Mick.
See you, Mick.
Bye.
Hello and welcome to episode 128 of the Talk Nintendo podcast. Oh wait, no, we've already done this. I'm just kidding.
That's right.
Welcome back. We are now.
Hey.
We have rid the world of Mick weights. We've shed that weight off our shoulders,
Well,
and
hold
now,
on.
what's up?
I mean, like, we didn't rid the world. I mean, he's still living.
Nope, we've got rid of him. He's donezo.
Nope, we've killed him.
You won't hear from Mick no more, but you will hear from our next guest. I'm just kidding. He's alive and well. But you will be hearing from our next guest real soon, probably right after I'm done introducing him, and that is Alex Mateo, a.k.a. Mr. Panda.
Hello. Nice to be here. Hello. Nice to be. Hello.
Hola.
I keep talking over you.
How's it going, Alex?
Things are going pretty well.
Yeah.
When was the last time I was here? I don't know.
Probably like 4 paid trips ago.
I think Smash had come out between the time that since the last time I was here. So yeah.
Could it have been around Pokemon?
Huh?
Could it have been around Pokemon, maybe?
I think
maybe
Pokemon
not.
wasn't out yet. But Pokemon would have also come out then.
I'm so lost, guys.
I don't know. Yeah.
Anyway, we've had
too long. That's the answer.
Too long. It's been too long. But Pokemon and Smash have happened, so that is how I've been. Pokemon and Smash. Those are my answers.
He's poking and he's smashing.
And Ubisoft.
And he's oobing.
Yep. And trialing and rising. Yeah.
Ooh.
Are you rising to the trial?
Before we get into that, yeah, that's the new Ace Attorney game.
Oh yeah, that should hopefully be out on Switch soon. I'm gonna replay that.
Trials. No, we are gonna have you on the end of the show for Mystery Reversery, and I think that will be a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I hope I do well on that one.
Me too.
Yeah. But I don't think I
won't. Or at least that's what you've been telling me all day. So I'm gonna go with it. But
that's okay. But we're going to get right into some more of what we've been playing. And Alex, like he said, he's been talking about Trials Rising. Is it Trials or is it Trails?
It's Trials Rising, but you know, a lot of people have been saying Trails for some reason.
Well,
maybe I'm
kind of makes sense, right?
It.
I mean, it makes sense, right?
It's Trials. It's definitely Trials.
No, I think it is Trials, but like I realized like Trails makes sense, you know?
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people when they like talk about Trials, they spell it like Trails, and then I'm like, huh? I'm like, am I reading it wrong? Because maybe that does make sense. So yeah, Trials Rising is it's a motorbike game. It's a racing game technically because you're riding a motorcycle from the starting line to the finish line, but it's also a side scroller. It's like a physics-based puzzle platformer where you're the bike is a little unstable. You have to balance it, you have to control the bike, and you have to go through a bunch of obstacles along the way, trying not to fall. Okay, so just imagine like you're playing Mario, but instead of Mario, you're a bike. So the main character is like a bike. Okay. It's not actually, but like I'm just giving you an example.
Gotcha.
You know, I'm just giving you a visual.
Maybe like Excite Bike?
I actually called it Extreme Excite Bike in my review, so it is.
Well, there you go.
It is basically Extreme Excite Bike. Like, Excite Bike is pretty simple. I think you go through 4 lanes in that one, and you can do wheelies, you can do flips on jumps. Here, it's like in Trials Rising, it's a 2.5D version. So it's very dynamic. It goes like in and out of the foreground and background somewhat. And, the camera angles change. And all of the obstacles are pretty dynamic. Like you have swinging platforms. You might be on a construction site and there's like a bunch of moving steel parts. Everything is based on worldwide landmarks. So
and they have a for lack of a better term, like a cheaper version of this game that even like that Casey reviewed. It's not the same developers, but it's the same style. What's it called, Casey?
Urban Trials Playground or Urban Playground Trials, something like that.
Is Trials in it?
Yeah, I think it's Urban Trials Playground. Urban Trial Playground. Yeah.
But is that and it's not the same game though. Right. Not the same developers, is it?
Let me see.
I'm not sure, actually.
the developer for Playgrounds is Taiwan, Taiwan, T-E-Y-O-N.
That's definitely not it.
Yeah. I mean, having now, because I played Trial Playgrounds, and I didn't really like it very much at all. I didn't think it was that good. I've been playing some Trials Rising as well, and this game is way better, better than Playgrounds.
Okay. Cool.
I mean, one thing I think is, that really steps out is that the levels are designed way better. They're more interesting. Like, some of the levels are really, really graphically and visually cool to look at. The one level I can think of, it was like, I think it was in LA, like, because essentially on the map, you just get like a bunch of different like contracts or races pop up, and you go there, and it's just like, hey, here's a race, go through it kind of thing, do as well as you can, and try and get a gold rating. But in LA, it was cool because it was like you're going sort of through a movie scene.
Oh, that's
so,
my favorite one too.
Yeah, so like
the Hollywood one.
Yes, yep. So the one jump, you go in the air, and all of a sudden, like, it flickers, like almost like an old sci-fi, and then all of a sudden, like, there's like big aliens, and like it's obviously like being projected, onto the area, and you're riding through it. And I was like, man, like that looked really cool. And like Alex said, then you get like all these like real world set pieces sort of being used as ramps and different things. Like the one level, there is a windmill, and you actually need to like slow down, get scooped up by the windmill, and then when it like rises you up into the air enough, then you can sort of jump off of it onto the higher area. And yeah, I mean, it's like I said, leagues better than Playground. It is a little weird. It can sort of get frustrating because like it's not just about holding accelerate, like, oh yes, you want to sort of finish these races as quick as you can, but doing that is going to mess you up, because then all of a sudden you're going too fast for this jump, and now you've missed landing on like the down slope where you can sort of keep your momentum going, and now you're landing sort of on the upslope, and you just takes all of the wind out of your sails, and then you sort of have to restart. Not necessarily restart, but like regain your momentum. And when you're on a big slope, that's can be a little difficult sometimes. And like Alex said too, you're sort of fighting the mechanics of the bike. It's supposed to be a little difficult to maneuver, because it's obviously about trying to really become one with the bike, get that spot where it's like, all right, I'm when I'm going up over a jump, I'm going to need to tap the brake just at the top in order to land where I want to land on the next ramp, So it's
sounds fun.
Yeah, a little bit of trial and error with stuff like that.
Trials and error.
Ooh, yes.
It gets really hard later on, because a lot of the later tracks, they have like specific configurations where you have to approach the ramps, the steep slopes at an exact angle, like with an exact acceleration speed, an exact method. Like it's all precise, and I would spend minutes just trying to get past a section, because it would be because it's really hard. It's not for someone that just wants to like whiz through a game, because you will have to practice a lot of advanced techniques, and that's pretty much mandatory to beat much of the later levels.
Cool.
And then you have to do it like in the context of, I'm trying to get a good a fast time, or I'm trying to complete these like missions, which are like sponsor contracts. Like, say I have to do a certain number of backflips and get to the end, and I have to do it without making this many mistakes. So
that's like my normal job, like duties.
Yeah, I guess
for all of my jobs I've ever had.
Yeah.
Do your normal job, but how many backflips did you do today, sir?
Yeah, that's not enough. Dang it.
Do it again.
I will say though that we're both playing the Switch version, right? So
yes,
the Switch version, I think, is not necessarily the best version, from what I've seen. Like, there are the frame rate's slower on the Switch, and not only that, there are points where the frame rate dips. There are there are less detailed backgrounds overall in the Switch version, and I know there's that one stage at the very beginning where it's like really foggy, and that's just to hide that they're, the assets aren't really like there. I will also say that the Switch version has glitched a few times on me, like at least 10 or 15.
Oh, wow.
And and not only that, so Casey was talking about the acceleration. So in Trials Rising, you're meant to sort of control the engine, like engine throttle, which is like saying like you control the gas either like half speed or full speed or like just, little increments. On the Switch, you can't really do that because there aren't analog triggers on the Switch controllers. So unlike, the PS4 or Xbox One controllers, you can't press a little down on the L or R shoulder triggers. It's digital, so you press it all in or nothing. So it's already kind of like flawed in that regard because it like kind of gimps your gameplay for the harder levels. I will say that for, at least midway through the game, you could be fine just holding down the accelerate button or, letting it go. But later levels, you're going to have a better method of using the engine throttle. And the solution is to either the right analog stick actually controls the engine as well. So you can slow down or speed up the engine with the right analog stick, which is weird to control because, you would, for any other racing game, you would just, press ZR, I guess, besides Mario Kart, you would just press ZR, right? You press the right analog stick, which kind of feels weird. Or, and this is how I like to play, you just plug in a GameCube controller because that has analog triggers.
Well, it's funny that you say that because I don't remember where I saw or read about the, obviously that the game works better with analog.
Yes.
Because I played the entirety of it on my GameCube controller. Because I had played Smash, so it was just like ready to rock and roll. So yeah, it's like I had not run into those issues.
Are you serious?
Yep. And
that is amazing.
And what's cool is it's like
what's even more amazing is that Casey played it on his GameCube controller without even knowing it.
This is a GameCube.
It's so funny.
Yeah, this is perfect. I should say like I've played all docked. So I know Neil said when you get into handheld, I think the frame rate issues become more prevalent, present themselves more often. So like I said, I can't personally talk about that. I haven't, like, from the time I've put into it, I haven't really run into any issues. No crashes and not really noticeable frame rate. Like you said, I think it only runs at 30 FPS instead of 60 like the other versions. I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me, I guess.
You're correct.
It is? Okay. Yeah, so, I mean, and I'm not, like, the biggest, visual snob where I'm going to, like, look at 30 frames and be like, scoff, but...
But 60 frames is a lot better, but I mean, 30 frames, if it's solid, at least it's...
Yeah, and like I said, in my time with it, and albeit I haven't put in, probably nearly as much... Well, definitely have not put in nearly as much time as Alex has, but yeah, I mean, I was pleasantly surprised having come from urban playground to this to say, okay, this is definitely a much better game.
I lived my life on the urban playground, but now I finally get to see the world.
Now I'm rising, baby.
The true trials are out there.
Cool. I've always, actually, I have played a Trials game, a demo on my Xbox One, like a few years ago.
Okay.
Which is really funny. And I totally enjoyed it. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was just one of those, like, I was just trying out a bunch of different things and never got back to it. So I definitely mentioned it in this game. It's pretty pricey though. I see that it's $24.99, but then there's like a mega bundle for $40. So is there DLC or something?
Yep, there's a expansion pass with more stuff.
Okay.
There's also one thing that I didn't mention. There are also loot crates for cosmetic items.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but you can customize your avatar and bike, which I mean, I don't mind. That said, I think that the stuff in the loot crates are kind of not exciting because you get duplicates. You can get duplicates in the loot crate, and most of the stuff in there are stickers that you can use to like put on your clothes. Like you could just decorate it with stickers.
Awful.
And there's like I think over like 2,000 stickers or something.
I think
insane.
there must be way more than that. It's a crazy amount of stickers, and if you should want, you can buy. You can use real world money to buy stickers, or gear and stuff like that.
No, no, I don't allow it. I don't allow any of you, Casey. You already did that one thing with Rocket League.
I'm buying it now.
Someone stop him, Kate.
Yeah.
Kate,
it's too late. It's all gone. He bought 3,000 stickers.
Wait, I would say that the current price, like as of $25, like if you don't mind that you'll have to find an alternative for the analog triggers, or that the frame rate and visuals aren't as good, like the presentation, then I think that's a good price, because I spent a lot of time so far, and it's like it's a big game. There are a lot.
I like it that it's skill based.
Yeah, it's skill based. There are a lot of tracks, over 100, and there are a lot of missions. It just feels like there's always something to do. I mean, it takes a while to level up. It feels like it's a grindy game for a racing sports game, but it takes a while to level up. So you really have to put in the time if you want to get to all the harder tracks. But you can level up by playing online, which is cool. So with online play, that's you could theoretically play forever, I guess. Forever. And there's also a cool track editor mode. It's hard to use, but track editor. I mean, yeah, you could. It's like a Super Mario Maker Racing. There you go.
Oh,
Super Mario Maker bikes.
I bet it's just as eloquent as Super Mario Maker.
Oh, you better believe.
I had to catch some footage of that for like the small part in Neil's review where he mentioned it, and I got there and I was like, I don't know what I'm doing.
No.
I can't wait to see that.
I just like I put one thing down that was like sort of in like the complete middle of nowhere, and then I just cycled through some menus. I was like, that should suffice.
That reminds me of when Jared edited your fast review.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he was playing both players.
There's the part, there's the part where they show two players, and it's obviously like one guy.
Yeah, like holding down A with his foot.
Holding down A with. Yes, with his foot, totally. And then, like, I remember we saw him at PAX. He's like, "Yep, that's what I did." That was hilarious.
Good old Jared.
Good old Jared. But yeah, cool. Well, that game, it definitely looks cool. It oozes with style, and it looks, really nice. So,
well, guess what?
It's cool that it's on
you
Switch.
You could try it.
Yeah.
You could trials it.
Ooh. Is there a trial for trials?
No, but what I count.
Open beta, but now there's not.
Yeah, heck yeah, I will totally download it, because me and Casey share accounts, and that's how it works.
Yes, sir.
Beat that.
Wham bam.
So, I think we have one more game that we're going to talk about that me and Casey have been playing.
Yes, sir.
And then maybe another quick bite after that.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how I might be full by then. I might be full. Yeah, we have been playing Ape Out.
Ape Out.
Ooh.
Ape Out. Now this is the game
that
so this is Donkey Kong Country, right?
Yes, it's the sequel to Donkey Kong Country. When we were at PAX South, this was playing up on Devolver's booth on their screen like the whole time.
On the big boy screen.
And it looked so freaking sweet too. Like I remember, it's crazy. This big, huge silhouette of top down of an ape breaking out of its shackles and taking down everyone in its path. AKA Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. And yeah, so I just actually started playing this today. And obviously the thing that totally jumps out from the very beginning is there's two things, right? The visual style, is so cool. It has these cool textures that like are constantly shifting between like I don't know how many, like probably like 4 or 5, could be 10, I don't know. But it's like it has this really cool effect on everything. It's like just like this kind of sandpapery texture.
Yeah.
And then it has this really cool where it's top down, but it cuts off your vision by the walls and so it's really cool because you know how sometimes in top down shooters, you know, you feel like you have the advantage because like in a top-down twin-stick shooter, because you can see the other people in that room and they don't know you're coming, but you know exactly where they are. You burst in there and kill them, and like you know, it wasn't even fair. Not even fair. But this one, I love how they do it because it adds a little tension because you can't really see around the corner because like the corner goes all the way up to your eye's vision, so it cuts off like the parallax. I think that's really neat. And then obviously, what's the second thing, Casey, that jumps out?
That music, baby.
The music.
Which is
so neat.
It's so funny because if you look at this game, you know, you might not think that the audio and the music is going to sort of come into play as much as it is. I mean, I guess, did you sort of explain what the object of the game is here? So
kind of.
Yeah.
Donkey Kong Country.
Yeah. So you're pretty much trying to get down a building. You're sort of stuck in a building and you're working your way down, and you go floor by floor, and it's pretty much at least the levels like I've played. It's been like, oh well, like you start on the left, you work your way to the right, you go down some stairs, and you work your way to the left, and you just sort of keep working your way down. And there are employees of this building, all of course suited with some high-powered gunnery. You've got, you know,
as they should,
handguns, like you got some of the big boys with like a shotgun, which can be devastating. So essentially, as you're working your way through, you are just pushing these people or grabbing them and throwing them against the wall, and then their body will explode with blood, and then you can go pick up parts of their dead body and fling that at other people if you want to. Now, what's cool is you can actually grab people, so being able to sneak behind someone, grab them, and use them as a meat shield, essentially, as you work your way. And it's cool because you can sort of use them to block some shots. Then when you get close enough, you can just hurl it at the other person. And what's cool is...
Or you can... Yeah.
What's up?
I was saying, or you can, you know, use them to shoot other people.
Well, yeah, if you're lucky, or you've got some good skills.
Well, the shotgun's easier.
Well, yeah, shotgun, yeah. It's just sort of point and hope. But yeah, it's just super satisfying. Like you said, like the thump, like when those bodies hit the wall.
Yeah.
It's just like it's with the music and the feel. It's just like all of it. It's just sort of, you feel it almost. It's weird. And again, I'm not super far into this game. I'm definitely gonna.
Well, what's so cool about the music? I mean, did you explain why the music's cool?
Well, why don't you explain it, Mister Fancy?
Is it in reverse? Is that why?
It's all done. It's all done just on a trap set, on a drum set. There's no melody, no anything. It's kind of like Birdman, that movie Birdman. I don't know if you've seen that, where the whole soundtrack is just done with a trap set, and that's what it is. And so when you're smashing people against the wall, those are, depending on how you do, like if you throw someone, it's a big cymbal crash. You know, sometimes if you just hit them, then it'll just be like a dampened cymbal, but it's all cymbals when you're actually throwing them. So it's like you're working with the music, but it's just like this really cool kind of like, you know, techno fusion jazz drum set that's really, really neat. Like it's just really, really cool. I love the idea, and it kind of fits in like kind of like, you know, like with like the Ape Out theme, like of like the jungle, and kind of like, you know, like being very percussive just in its way, and of course hurling bloody bodies against other bloody bodies. It's just perfect for drum sets. You know, that's like what a drum set is.
Yeah, just hurling bodies.
Yeah, it's really neat though. You should definitely check it out. It's definitely an experience, you know, like it's something where, like, you know, everyone's gonna hear the music on our podcast right now, but like it doesn't make too much sense unless you're playing it, you know, like, and you see like what the music is and the feeling it kind of gets, and then like you swap in between, like when you go to the next level, like the colors will change, and it's like insane. really awesome contrast. And there's parts where like the lights go out and it's super hard.
Oh, when
it's
the lights
hard
go
too.
out,
I don't
really
know.
cool.
Did we explain about how hard the game is? I mean, it's tough.
Yeah, I was going to say what's interesting is, at least as far as I am into it now, it's pretty repetitive. Your tool set of what you can do is pretty limited, so like the way you're going to be disposing of enemies is more or less the same, but it still feels really good. And like you said, maybe it's just like changing up, like the visual look of it, adding some new enemy types. Like the one I was running down, and I forgot, like the level, they each have like clever little level names when you start, and I forgot if it was like Ding Dong or Ding, like some sort of an alarm name.
There's a level called Ding 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 Ding.
Yeah,
ding,
that
ding.
must have been it. And then all of a sudden you're running through, and you're like, oh, okay, like nothing's too bad, and all of a sudden you like trip an alarm, and then all of a sudden it's like, as you're running down this big hallway, like all these doors are just opening as you're running, and like 3 guys with guns coming out of each, and you're just like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, insane.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I'm having a lot of fun with it. I'm going to keep on playing it. Like I said, I guess my only concern would be like the simplicity of how you, like, your move set. Is that going to be enough to keep you sort of engaged all the way through?
I think so. I'm
yeah, I was going to say I think so, but I mean that's the only concern I would have for it right now, but otherwise I'm really enjoying it.
I mean, I know that Justin Nation. I mean, it was one of the games that it got him so much that he messaged us like saying how good it is, and so I think that this is also a game that is not going to overstay its welcome at all. Like I can just tell. Otherwise, I mean, like did you beat the first side? I mean, have you?
Yeah, tape A or whatever, or side A.
Tape A, yeah. I beat that, and so it's like I can kind of see the scope of the game. It doesn't seem like it's a super huge long game, which I think is really important.
And I think I saw that there's like an arcade mode.
Yeah, I did see that. I
so
haven't tried
you can,
it yet.
even if you work your way through all the levels, then it's just going to be like, hey, let me see how high of a score I can get.
Yeah, it's like a roguelike almost, like that kind of an idea.
Boom.
But anyway, yeah. So that's Ape Out. Really cool looking game from Devolver. Check it out. I hope we're not breaking embargo right now.
No, because I think it comes out on the 28th.
Okay, cool. It's really neat. If you want like a fun, it's a really unique take on a twin stick shooter. I mean, it really is. I know it's not really, but it kind of is. It's cool. It's cool. All right. So is that it then, Case?
Yes, sir. I think so.
All right, well then let's take a break, and when we come back, it is the new eShop Roundup.
Alrighty, after a very jam-packed what we've been playing, featuring 2 different hosts. Well, really 4.
2 different guests.
I
guess
2 hosts.
4 different hosts.
Potato, potato.
It is also 2 different hosts.
Back for what is now known as the new eShop Roundup.
The new eShop Roundup.
Yes, and for those who have either missed the memo, you're living under a rock or something, we have made
missed last week's episode.
Or just didn't listen to last week's episode.
Yeah, well, and if you didn't listen to last week's episode, I ask you, why are you listening to this week's already?
It spoils the last one.
Yeah, you're messing everything up, dang it.
Especially with the music game.
Yeah. Yes, so the eShop Roundup, we used to go through every single game. That became a daunting task, so now what we've done is we each go and we look for a game or 2 that sort of catches our eye. And we were doing it with the old eShop Roundup. We'd pick our game of the week. Essentially, we're boiling it down to what is our game of the week and maybe an honorable mention or 2.
Mm-hmm.
This week, pickings were a little bit slim, I still found 2 games. What about you boys?
I found 1 game, and I'm going to go first.
That's because you're lazy.
It's That's right. No, I seriously was. I couldn't even. I was like, okay, this one will do, I guess. No, not really. This game looks pretty.
Yeah. A ringing endorsement. My game of the week. It'll do.
Call it out.
Do. Yeah, it'll do too.
Call it out.
No. This one is called Rotating Brave. Did you guys see this one?
Nope.
I remember that that name.
It's $4.99. It's a pixel art dungeon style game that you conquer, but the cool hook of it is you play it handheld, and the screen rotates between like horizontal and vertical as you play, which is pretty cool looking. Like, and if you've seen the screenshots, if you're holding your Switch, then you can actually see it happen. So I thought that was kind of a neat idea, you know. I don't know how the game really plays. It looks cool. It has some cool art, has a cool art style. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Like you actually like seriously like turn your Switch and then you play like that and go back. And I don't know. I just think that's a lot of fun. Kind of like a WarioWare like move. You know. Anyway, so I recommend checking that out on the eShop. Rotating Brave for $4.99.
All right, Alex, you got us a game here.
I sure do, and I'm gonna have to go into the page because I can't read it based on the font alone. It is Remy Lore.
Oh.
Remy Lore.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Lost Girl in the Lands of Lore is the subtitle, and I literally picked it because it had anime on the front. And
Alex.
If you just
what's interesting?
Gave me money and just told me to choose a game that I thought would be interesting just based on the picture alone, I would pick the anime game. So yeah, wow. Anime publisher people.
You're an anime guy.
Yeah, I'm an anime guy.
Well, weirdly enough, it says this is a roguelite anime style adventure.
Yeah, it does say that.
That's weird, right? Like a roguelite? Like that's weird coming. Like I would never see this game like with that title. The game looks really pretty, though. I mean, you look at the art style. Like, my goodness, like the in-game looks phenomenal.
It looks pretty, and it looks, it says roguelite, but I'm sure it has some kind of RPG elements from what I'm seeing, and I'm a fan
simulator.
I'm a fan of that kind. Yeah, it might have that too.
It looks like that kind of a
I'm
game.
just gonna go ahead and purchase it now.
Boom.
No.
Yeah. Well, what are you waiting for? Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you all about it.
Alrighty. I guess that brings
it up. If I said that, Casey would be like, why aren't you buying it right now?
Yeah.
And then he'd make fun of me for buying it. He's the guy that tempts people with peer pressure, and then he makes fun of them for doing it.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. What'd you pick, Case?
Oh, it's funny you say that. The one time, this was before Caitlin and I were dating, she saw this one dress, and it was like $40 or something, and it was like, she liked it, And I was like, oh, you should totally get it. And she's like, oh, it's too much, I was like, oh, come on. Like, it's like, it's like, what, $39? It's practically $30, Like, just
you
worked her down.
That or Remy Lore. Yeah,
and then she bought it, and then I was just like, ugh, that dress, man. But anyway.
You jerk.
I digress, yeah.
You're exactly what I just said then.
Yep, pretty much. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head, bud. I picked out 2 games here. This first one, honorable mention, Surf Fingers.
Oh yeah,
which cute. Looks like a cute little surfing game, $4.99. Yeah, I don't know. It sort of gave me that like, I don't think it's gonna be a Miles and Kilo kind of game because those are really great games. But like, it's sort of like when I saw it, I wondered like, could it be in that realm where it's like a smaller game that like you don't really know much about, but then you play it and you're actually
cute
like,
art style.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that one, has piqued the interest, but my game of the week is Devil Engine for $19.99. This right here is a high-octane, classic-styled, side-scrolling shoot-'em-up, heavily influenced by the best in the genre from the 32-bit era.
Cool.
Yeah,
the 32-bit
it looks...
32-bit era.
Yeah, that's what they're telling me.
Cool.
Yeah, the visuals look really cool, and it just looks like a true and tried shmup.
True and tried.
Yep.
He says that just for me.
But yes,
it's $19.99.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. That would be my game of the week right here.
Another mention I will say is Rad Rogers Radical Edition. We met the director of this game at PAX. He's the guy that also is doing Ion Maiden.
I can't wait for that game.
And this game is a side-scrolling game. It has Duke Nukem in it.
Yeah, I could see that Duke Nukem's in it, huh?
And this is the weird. I saw a trailer for this, and I was like, there seemed to be like, it was weird because it's like a kid playing, but there's all these like double entendres, and then I saw it was like rated M, and I was like, is it like, does the game go deep down that, or are those just like funny cheeky nods?
Yeah, here and
but
there.
I asked the guy, and he's like, oh, it's definitely a very heavy M-rated game. So I was like, because I couldn't tell from the trailer, I was like, what, I was like, what's the deal here? But he's like, oh yeah. So, and like Duke Nukem's in it, so that makes sense. But it's like a side-scrolling, it's a platformer shooter. It's supposed to be like the 90s, right? The 90s games. So anyway, thought I'd give that a shout out.
I also wanted to give a special honorable mention to the Ice Climber.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
they are.
We know we definitely should.
Where they belong.
Knowing your roots.
For sure. I mean, this is the arcade.
This is the arcade
version of it, right?
I've never played the arcade version.
And I think Justin Berube said it's even harder.
Oh my goodness!
Just like,
oh, that's great.
Man, the concept of Ice Climbers is so good, though. I just wish that the controls were good,
Right, for a remaster.
Right?
Well, let's do a remake. Just a full-on remake or a sequel. A new sequel for the Switch.
Yes. I just think, imagine like what they did for, like, I love like the Pac-Man Championship Edition, that concept. Mm-hmm. That concept of just taking a game, breathing new life into it. I would love it if Nintendo would do that, because they were the masters of that old, the old arcade game, and they could do like a new Donkey Kong, a new, Ice Climbers. I think it'd be so cool. A new Balloon Trip, I think, would be ripe for the picking.
I bet you they could make a really sweet Urban Champion, like, sequel.
I think that's called Super Smash Bros.
What everybody wants.
Urban Champion.
It'd be funny if Sakurai
Smash.
came out saying that Smash Bros is officially in the Urban Champions, is a sequel to Urban Champion.
Yeah. What a horrible sequel. The original was better.
Goodness. So I downloaded Urban Champion because I have never played it ever. I just want to be like, honestly, I was like, is this game good? Is it bad? And I seriously, it was all I could to finish one match because it was so boring. It is so bad. It really is that bad. Like, I can't believe how boring it is. Anyway.
Well, now you know firsthand.
No, see, that's why you should have gone to the 3D Classics version.
I didn't even get that because everyone was like, "No, it's terrible," and it scared me off. So
they meant Urban Champion was terrible. They didn't mean the 3DS Classics Urban Champion.
I know,
dude.
I have all the other. I have all the other ones.
Okay.
I have all the other ones. But I didn't get that.
He's
one.
got his Urban Champion wall.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that will do it for our new eShop Roundup, and that means that it's time for the news, baby.
News Talk with Casey Gibson.
The news, baby.
Now, is this going to be the new news as well?
Alex, you get to be here on the worst news day ever.
You mean nothing's happened, right?
No.
Well, this is the first time
nothing big has happened.
Yeah. Well,
what are you talking about?
We did get some bombshell
My world is
news.
ending.
Melee will not be at EVO 2019 this year. That's the first time in quite some time. But don't fret, because Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, as you can imagine, will be there. And what's cool about this little EVO snippet coming via Donald Terrio, although they won't be played on the Switch at EVO 2019, more than half the main field is or will be on Switch this year. So I thought that was a pretty cool little
well, that is cool.
Little tidbit.
Mortal Kombat 11, and Smash Bros, Dragon Ball Fighters.
Yep.
And who else?
I think Blaze Blue is coming to Switch.
Oh, that's right.
I'm pretty sure.
What about this Under Night in Birth?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't. That's a whole mouthful, but yeah. But yeah, some So it's pretty sweet. I mean, I guess it's, Ultimate was going to be there. I don't think there was any doubt about that. But it's cool to see that Ultimate sort of really taking over. I feel like, I don't know how much, I know Perry doesn't really watch Smash or competitive gaming, but
I've never ever watched competitive gaming.
Like, I know with Wii U, there was a scene for it, people would watch and people would play, but it was just not, personally, I didn't find it all that interesting to watch, where Ultimate is way more entertaining to watch, and I think, like, if Melee wasn't at EVO and it was Wii U, I feel like there would be sort of like people up in arms, but the fact that Ultimate is, doing so well, and it seems like everyone's really enjoying the competitive side of things, so it's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to checking it out.
Crazy.
Plus, Pichu's top tier.
Only top tier.
Everyone likes Pichu.
I still haven't even played as Pichu. I haven't unlocked him yet.
What a gym bot.
Perry, get off this podcast.
Yeah. You got the boot.
I have some news, though, that came in today via a press release, and that is that the Aces of Luftwaffe Squadron game is getting an extended edition physical retail game.
I tell you what, man, that is a very, very good game.
Yeah, I know. I've always thought of that game because we talked about it and you loved the game and gave it a good score, and I'm definitely interested. And it's physical now, so say it, Case.
So he's gonna gym it up, yeah.
I'm gonna gym it up. No, I if I see it though, that's a game that I'm interested in. So I thought that was kind of cool. I like when games come retail, like Guacamelee.
You sure do.
1 and 2. It's pretty sweet, right?
Oh, it's such a great game. A pair of games.
Yep, I know. But what else are we going to talk about in this depressing news week?
Well, I put it up top of the news block, and then we worked our way backwards because we're trying to avoid
How about that Pokemon Direct?
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick.
What do we got, Alex?
Woo! Yeah, I can't believe they announced Gen 15. I can't believe that we're going to get 10 new types. And also that the starters are going to be,
Ghost,
Dark, Steel, and Ghost, yeah.
I've heard that, yeah, and I mean, how crazy is it that Nintendo wanted to have more ownership in Pokemon, so they made them make a Mario-type Pokemon?
Yeah. No, not only that, but you actually play as Waluigi. So he's not in Smash, but he's actually going to be the trainer.
I don't know, how crazy.
Game. Yeah.
He actually, he follows Diglett's evolution tree. So it's just Waluigi's head sticking out of the ground.
I thought that they said that Waluigi was actually just totally a Pokemon.
I think he is.
And that's why he wasn't in Smash, because they had too many Pokemon. They're like, not another Pokemon.
Yeah. They decided had trouble getting the rights to Waluigi, so
they decided to put another sword user in Smash instead. But
yeah.
Oh, and it's so crazy that Chrom is also going to be in Pokemon. My gosh.
I know.
Yeah.
And Alex, Mr. Panda, is going to make a cameo.
Oh yeah.
But you just heard that here first.
I am one of the Pokemon.
He is.
You are
the Pokemon.
I'm Mr. Pancham.
And it's crazy that they went with a Pokemon Ultimate thing, with every single Pokemon in every single region.
They're all here.
Yeah. But and Ryan Reynolds is the leader of the Elite Four. It's crazy.
But he's playing his Deadpool character.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But he uses a Detective Pikachu, so it all
comes full circle. We're
sorry,
all in Ryan Reynolds'
sorry for
world.
spoiling, by the way, but you know those trailers have a lot of spoilers in them, so yeah.
But yes, Pokemon Direct.
Best 7 minutes I've ever seen.
7 minutes of new info. By the time you hear this, you'll know all about it.
Yeah, you can confirm everything we've just said.
Yeah, you might listen to our ramblings right there and not be that impressed until you realize we recorded it before it happened.
Yeah, and this is actually the Pokemon Direct from the year 2035. So,
woo!
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
It's all true then. Don't worry.
That is such a weird idea to think that in 2035, someone might be listening to this right now. That's weird. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, unless the moon has already fallen on the Earth.
But then it will likely be some sort of extraterrestrial who has found our audio files, and they're like,
"Oh, that's true.
They're like, what a Jimmy.
Alex, if the moon falls on our Earth, I'll kiss you right on the lips.
Okay.
You'll be smushed.
I'll take it.
Be some smushed lips.
You know, I trust Link. I trust Link to do his job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of delicious lips, Reggie.
Yes, I agree. 100%.
Reggie.
His lips
Reggie is
are
gone.
ready.
He's leaving. Reggie is leaving. His body is post ready.
No, he said he would always be ready.
It's overcooked. Oh, guys, Reggie Fils-Aimé will not be the president of Nintendo anymore. Or did he already leave?
No, it's actually on Caitlin's birthday, April 15th.
Oh.
Yeah. She gets the distinct honor of sharing it with the Reggie's last day.
We should have, you know what? You should, on her birthday cake, it shouldn't say happy birthday, Kate. It should say, like,
happy retirement, Reggie.
We'll miss you.
No, and then you should send Reggie a happy birthday.
Yeah, happy birthday, Caitlin. Yeah, he'd be like, what the
goodness.
heck?
And then he'd be like, Mamma Mia, we got the cakes mixed up.
I'm pretty sure there's a Game & Watch game that addresses that.
That does sound like a Game & Watch game.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort the cakes.
Yeah. Sort the cakes.
But yeah, the big Reg, man, I honestly am so saddened by this.
Yeah, you know what?
I'm such a big fan of him.
It's horrible news, but at the same token, like, he's going out, you know, Switch booming. You know, everyone loves the Reg, you know, like
it is true.
He's going out on top, and you know, people are going to look back at his tenure with Nintendo fondly, especially, you know, if the Switch continues to do what it's doing and, you know, they just keep on being beasts.
Yeah, that is very, very true. And something that, you know, is something to say is that, because in a time where I don't want to be positive at all and I want to just cry into my pillow, I won't. Because we are stronger than this, Casey.
We're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it.
What's nice is seeing just, you know, on Twitter, like random clippets and snippets of Reggie over the year, and going back and watching that 2004 you know, E3 presentation when he comes out and he's like, I'm Reggie. I'm about kicking ass and we're about making games. And you're just like, man, the Reg, you know? Like, at a time when you're like, what? A curse? Someone from Nintendo cursed? And then the puppets. How good was that E3 too?
So good. Dude, everything he's done is gold. It's just amazing. He's so funny. He knew. Remember that on the Animal Crossing when they were showing it off for the 3DS, and he was showing like his town, and like he went up and he said like in it he said, "And my body is ready." Like he said that like during the direct. Oh, so funny, so good.
What's your favorite? What's your favorite Reggie moment?
Mine's when he complimented my shirt.
Yeah. At the Odyssey release.
Yeah, that was great. Because I was like, I don't know if I was just not anticipating Reggie being there or whatever, but so when I saw him, I was like, oh, heck yeah, you know, like the big Reg is here. And then I saw someone else asking for a picture. And I'm not normally one to be like run up and ask for a picture or anything, but I was just like, I didn't even think twice, man. I was like, get over here, Reggie.
Get over here. You gave him a kiss,
and then I laid a big fat wet one on him.
Jerry.
And then he went, man, I like your shirt. And then he whispered in my ear, and he goes, I'm gonna retire in a year and a half. Don't tell anyone.
And you made good on your promise.
Yep. Yeah, I wouldn't. Well, after you seal it with a kiss, you can't really go kissing and telling. You know?
I just imagine Reggie kiss you and then whisper that into your ear. It's amazing.
What a roller coaster of emotions that would have been, you know? Like the high of a smooch from the Reg, but then like the lows of like, but he's retiring.
Yeah, I know.
And then
I can't tell anyone.
Casey, after he whispered into your ear, did you say, Reggie, my body's not ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
with one tear coming down my eye.
Oh, no.
This was supposed to be the best moment of my life, Reggie. Why'd you ruin it?
I think my favorite Reggie moment was on that video I saw. Did you see that tweet that someone's saying the real reason why he's quitting? And it's that snippet from that direct. No, about the Nintendo World Championship. Oh, when we're gonna do the Nintendo World Championships again. We haven't done it in 25 years, and I'm gonna compete. And some of the guys like, you can't compete. You're the president of Nintendo. And he goes, not anymore. And then he just runs out of the room. It's so funny. It's so funny in this context that's actually right. He retired to be in the Nintendo World Championships.
Yeah. Imagine he came back and he's just better than ever.
Oh, good old Reg.
Yeah, well, with the news of Reggie stepping down, that can only mean one thing. Doug Bowser takes the helm, baby.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable that Bowser is the president of Nintendo.
It was only a matter of time.
That's just insane.
Now, I don't know if this was like an older picture, but there was a picture going around. It was of Doug. And then in the background on the bookshelf, you saw Mario and Luigi tied up with a GameCube controller. So, I mean, first and foremost, it's amazing either way you slice it. But like I've seen people hoping for it, and I do too. I hope they just lean real far into the whole Doug Bowser thing.
They will.
It's amazing.
Like, they have to. It's probably the only reason he got the job.
He doesn't even have to do anything. Everything can be about him. That was probably his
job interview.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, he wouldn't need an interview. They just look at his name.
Guys, think about it.
They're like, it says here on your resume, your last name is Bowser. Can you prove that? Sure can. You're hired.
Exactly. So, that's just insane to me. It's cool, though. I don't know anything really about him. Maybe I'll meet him. I can tell you one thing, though. No one will ever replace Reggie Fils-Aimé.
You know, he's one of a kind.
He sure is. He's the Bigfoot pizza guy.
Yeah, Bigfoot pizza.
Well, thank you, Reg, for everything you've done. And I hope that you don't go to Microsoft. And actually, if he went to Microsoft and became their president,
all of a sudden,
that would be amazing.
You know what, though? Like, I could see like it being maybe where he'd go to another, but the way he was talking, like, I truly think he is just hanging it up, you know, like
he should.
He's probably got more than enough money to live a very comfortable life from here on out, you know. So God bless him.
Yeah, good for you, Reg. Maybe he'll be on our podcast.
Well, like I said, it opens the door.
Yeah, now we can talk about whatever he wants.
I'm just wondering, like, if he will, like, if he is truly just a straight retirement, like he's not looking at any other jobs or companies, like I wonder if it would be a situation where like every once in a while maybe he does pop up, you know what I mean, like randomly on something
like
Nintendo.
In a Nintendo Direct?
Yeah, like I don't know, maybe not a direct or maybe just like like maybe it is, maybe I don't know.
No, I can't imagine them like just letting people who don't work there.
But he's Reggie.
Yeah, he's Reggie.
I know,
Alex,
but
what
like,
is wrong with you?
Reggie goes in.
Must you stomp on our dreams?
God dang it, Alex!
In the future?
You're off the show
with my Bigfoot pizza.
Yeah, jeez, we just want to have a little more Reggie
and a little less Alex.
Yeah.
Ouch!
I'm just kidding.
That's so funny. Anyway, well, that'll do it for the news. It's sad news, I know, but the good thing is we have another round of Mystery Reversery coming up right after this break. So stick around. It's a fun show. I know that for a fact because we already recorded it. Don't tell anyone. But here it is. See ya on the other side.
I hope I do well.
I hope I don't.
Alrighty, we are back, and Perry, you have a treat in line for us, don't you?
That's right. It kind of came to play from last week. It was the revenge segment, I guess, right, Jordan? I can't remember, but we said last week we had a mystery reversery, and Jordan's unstoppable.
It was the chance. It was a chance for revenge, but it didn't take place.
He got his revenge last week.
Right.
Oh man, it was amazing. If anyone didn't listen to the last one, it was so good. It was Jordan totally Hail Married it at the end, and it was just wonderful. Anyway, so we have obviously another batch of Mystery Reversery. Songs. So the game show, as I play them, it's a game show. I play each one. Each song has 3 different segments that are played in reverse. And these fine folks, which, by the way, we're joined by Jordan Rudek and Xander Morningstar.
I have trained for this. I had to think like Jordan, and I listened to the entire soundtrack to Pong. And
Xander's been hard at work.
I completed an entire JRPG in the time period that we last recorded. So,
well, I hate to bust your bubble, but Perry doesn't play RPGs, so
I just beat one. I just beat Knights of Pen and Paper.
Baby's
it was amazing.
first RPG.
I think Xander, you just disqualified yourself because Pong doesn't have a soundtrack. So this might be a long game.
Oh my goodness, guys! I went to like I've thought of so many like NES games, and I go and like that would be a great one, and I go and I listen, and it's just like. It's just like it's just the same thing over and over again. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is the crappiest thing. I can't use that. So
AKA he's got a whole bunch of those lined up for us tonight.
That's right. And fun is that Mr. Panda, Alex is here for I think the first time he's played it, right?
Woo woo woo! Dude, challenger approaching.
I don't think we've ever had 5 people on at once.
No, this is this is
history.
Someone's
baby.
gonna have to.
And
get
we had Mick on earlier, so
I know
we've got
6
all sorts of guests up.
So we have 4 guests
in this
episode. Crazy. Well, so we're gonna start with the first game here. And there's a new. I'm putting in. I think this might have even been a secret rule throughout the whole Mystery Reversery thing, but I'm implementing this. This is new. This is to help players, but also it's just kind of fun too, because I like fun things. That each game is from a different system.
All right.
So we have to have something that I was alive for when it came out.
True.
There's more of those now. Haha.
That's right. So first, if you guess it on the first sample, then you get 3 points. If you guess it on the second, 2, third, 1. If you
incorrect,
make an incorrect guess, -1. Okay. Are you all understanding? Alex, I'm really just asking you. If you're gonna play it.
Yeah, I can't wait to show you my negative score.
Cool. All right. So here we go for the first one.
Ooh, hold on. I'm trying to find where I can message you.
I couldn't guess fast enough, Perry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Xander.
Oh man, I have a billion things going on here. Okay.
Beep, beep. Somebody picked an easy one to start us off here.
All right. Well, Casey and Jordan and Alex all got it correct.
No.
Pressure's on. Pressure's on.
And Xander got it wrong.
Oh
no. So,
can we hear what he guessed?
No,
yeah,
do not share that. No.
I won't share it.
Absolutely not.
You can send me the screenshot.
I actually can't believe you guessed that. I just to be honest, Xander, I can't believe you guessed that.
That's what it sounded like, but I'm also conditioned right now, so who knows?
Casey, are you keeping score?
Yep.
Can you do that? Okay. All right. So because you all got it right, that's 3 points on the board. -1 for Xander. So you get chance to guess. You can come back to get 1 point if you can guess on the second one.
All right. I know what that is.
This is a game that I had growing up. That it wasn't mine. It was my brother's friend's, and he lent it to us. And then I still have it on my shelf somewhere.
Xander got it correct. And what is it, Xander?
It's F-Zero.
F-Zero.
I will reveal what I put earlier. I thought it was that opening beginning in the Earthbound song where it's like da na 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 na. That's what.
You
it
know what?
like
it actually does have the same
so
instruments. You know what I mean? Same system. I hear it.
That's
Actually,
close.
He's just
With one
loving
letter,
the
it's
Mother series right now. He's hearing it everywhere.
Yeah, it's true.
So-
I opened my fridge and I heard the Mr. Saturn sound.
I know.
Harry, those clips, they sound exactly like the they sound exactly like the song they're coming from. Like they.
Well, here let's listen to the third clip.
Yeah.
I think I shot myself in the foot with this one.
They sound pretty much the same.
I feel like
Isn't that
you
amazing?
could just listen to the whole soundtrack backwards and it'd probably still be awesome. Like,
Yeah.
No, they should make
So
a
good.
they should make a reverse F-Zero where like you go through all of the tracks like backwards, like moving backwards.
Just
with
mirror
the,
that
with
back.
the background soundtrack. No,
Oh my
but you're
goodness,
not.
That's a good idea.
You're not mirrored. You're not going. You're not
Yeah.
forwards going backwards. You're just going in reverse the entire time.
That'd be cool if they did something like that in Mario Kart. You know, like did it backwards instead of that would be really neat. That could be their gimmick there.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, you can just
You're a
hold down
genius,
the
Mr.
brake
Panda.
button and
Instead
go
of
backwards if you wanted to.
anti-gravity and being upside down, you can just go in reverse.
Yeah. Oh wow, that's cool. Well, so the score then would be 3-3-3-1.
Yes, sir.
That's right. All right, it's okay. That's not too bad, Xander. It's not too bad. Of course,
At least
it
you
could've
didn't
been
jim it up
3-3-2
on the
if you
second
just
attempt.
wait. Just kidding. But I thought a fun little game.
I like a good
there
rookie
would be,
story.
This next one is going to be interesting. So let's listen to. Are you guys ready for the next one?
yep, let's go.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Well, we should
That's
all
not
remember.
F-Zero.
Yeah, we should all remember that Perry's new rule. It's not on the Super Nintendo, so we got to keep that in mind. Not that I think you would have confused that for a Super Nintendo game anyway, but
Would he do something silly like, oh, it's a Super Nintendo game on the Wii version?
is it Mother 3?
Oh.
No.
I think Xander already
rules.
guessed Earthbound again. One of these has to be Earthbound.
Getting crap from you, getting crap from John, getting crap from David. Just no one can give up the whole I like Earthbound. Whatever.
Xander, I love
Dude,
Earthbound. It's one of my
I
top
know,
5
I
favorite
know.
games.
I love Earthbound too. All right, so
I liked Mother
that's
3 more.
that's a zero guess from everyone.
Need another
okay.
sample.
It's honorable.
Need another sample.
It's honorable. All right, let's listen to the second sample of the second game.
Oh, I know this.
It's on like the tip of my tongue, but I'm still
Yeah,
not there
same.
yet.
Yeah,
I
really
recognize
close.
it.
Really close.
Mr. Panda has guessed, and he got it correct, guys. Good job, Alex.
So that's 2
Good
for
job,
the Panda man.
That's right.
Hey, Alex, if you
Good.
want to message me the answer.
Alex, don't do it. Don't give in.
Do I risk it, guys?
How do I message Casey?
You're playing catch up, Xander.
It's
I think you might go for it.
Earthbound. I'm like, oh.
F-Zero for the Switch.
This would be a crazy cool Earthbound game if it was.
It's amazing. All right, so is that wait for the last sample from the rest?
Yeah.
I'm gonna wait one
I'm
more
keep
time.
keep my 3
Nothing
points
wrong with
and-
that. That's good. All right, here is the third sample.
I know this song. I just don't know if it's from this game.
Oh God, it's yeah.
You don't have to guess.
I'm gonna make.
I
it.
know.
I'm gonna make a
Guess.
guess. I'm gonna make a guess.
And unfortunately, he guessed the same thing as Jordan, which is correct.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Good job, guys.
The
Amazing.
last
Thanks,
clip
Regis
I heard it
Philbin.
finally. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
I
You're
should have
welcome.
get. Oh man, that makes me mad. I
Is that your final answer?
That was my
You know what?
guess
I'm gonna
from the
keep my
second
1
round.
point here. I'm no
Hey,
guess.
Casey, good job, buddy.
No
good
guessing.
Job.
Casey,
So,
you're gonna kick
since-
yourself here. I
It's
think.
probably I'm
Since
thinking
Alex-
it's Wii Sports or something, or Wii Resort.
It's Wii
It's Wii
Sports.
Sports.
It is Wii
Okay,
Sports.
Well, that's what I was like. It's one of those games. It could have been Wii Fit for all I know.
Or Wii Sports
whatever.
Resort, even. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was
like-
thinking along those
I almost
lines.
went with
but-
Wii Sports Resort or Wii Fit, but I'm like, no, let's just go with the basic one. Maybe that's.
Yeah,
That's
that's what I
what's
should have
going on
done, but you know what?
Yeah.
That's all right.
That's a good.
But,
yeah,
yeah.
good. And you know, guys, I mean, I'm such a huge Wii Sports fan. I mean, and what a crazy, like one of the biggest games of all time, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like, Like,
well, it isn't that
crazy to
big.
me is like, I mean, like it actually got people that were like seriously like in their 80s and 90s playing this game.
Yeah.
Like
It
I've been to
sold a lot of
multiple
Wii
nursing
consoles.
homes where they're playing
world
this.
records in the Guinness World Record book that are held by people in retirement homes for this game.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
See,
consecutive
I love that.
play. I think I saw
And that's
actually
ingenious.
like the Nintendo UK Twitter, like someone had been like, my grandma's done Wii Fit for like the last 10 years every
Yeah,
single
I
day.
just saw that. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw
Amazing.
the same one. It was like
love it.
3,900 straight days or something. It's just crazy, that dedication.
I know. And honestly, it's like that was one of the most ingenious things Nintendo's ever done, and you just got to think they can't, take that away. They got to be doing something with that brand of something, right? I mean,
Well, that's the Mii's are in
Bring
Smash. There you
back
go.
Pilot Wings, baby.
The legacy lives on.
Oh man, I want a new Pilot Wings so badly.
Me
Oh, yeah,
too,
me
man.
too.
It'd be amazing.
dude, I love Pilot Wings Resort.
Dude,
I really did
honestly,
love that game.
just give us Pilot Wings and like just drop us in Breath of the Wild. Literally.
Yeah.
Just like go land planes and fly around.
That would be
Just
actually
put a
pretty cool.
plane in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, how cool would it be if you could do the Skyward Sword, the bird,
The
and fly
Loft
that around? in
Oh, that would be
Breath of
neat.
the Wild?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be pretty cool. But anyway,
Actually,
so we're
it'd be
on.
really slow.
Yeah, well, it'd have to be upgrades or something.
Yeah.
We're ready to move on to
Game
the
number
third
3.
game. So, Casey, can you please tell us the scores?
We've got Jordan with 4 points, Xander with 2, Alex with a big old 5,
No,
and then I've got
Xander
3.
should have 3 points
That's correct.
No,
because he guessed on the second guess and he had 1 point, so he should.
was
have
it the
3.
second guess?
Mm-hmm.
Was that Jordan too, or just Xander?
It was Jordan and Xander.
No, third
you-
one. It was the third one.
That was the
Carrie.
third guess, you big Jimbot.
I couldn't hear it until
What?
the third
I got
one.
the second guess.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No
Alex.
one guessed on
sorry.
the first one.
Okay.
Look at this
I'm
cheater.
sorry.
He's trying to get Casey out of
Yeah.
the winners here.
I'm not trying to get you out of anything.
I've got 5.
Okay,
Well,
sorry,
how many
you're
points
right.
do you
Alex
have,
got it.
Perry?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right, 'cause I was
Perry's
thinking
got
that.
what 13.
Perry's got 0 points.
Because
You
he's a
figured out
big
my secret.
loser.
You figured out my secret. I only host so I can't lose.
Perry,
Okay.
We
you're
gotta give
always
him
All right,
He's
losing.
so-
a game
so-
master.
Yeah. So 5. What is it?
So we got
Alex
4 for
has-
Jordan, 2 for Xander, 5 for Alex, 3 for me.
All right. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's amazing. All right. So here's the third game. It's a very weirdly close game. Here we go.
I think
I took your advice and made the samples longer this time. Jordan.
Yeah, I appreciate it, Perry.
Yeah.
Didn't help me there though.
Yeah.
I think I've got the series, but I don't have.
I guarantee you that if that's too big of a hint. I'll save. Just remind me that anecdote after. Okay, so no guesses. No guesses. All right. So we're going straight to the second sample then for 2 points. Are y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
For
Ready.
this? All right, here we go.
I got to admit, it didn't help me at all. I think the first one helped me a lot more than the second one did.
This one was shorter, Perry.
I got the
Come
series
on. The other
now.
way around.
What, Alex? Or
This one was shorter. This
that
sample.
one that was a little shorter, yeah. So no guesses, huh?
No, I guessed.
Oh, sorry. You did?
I did.
On Slack?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Well, what was your guess?
Yeah.
And I can't answer the guess yet because unfortunately it's wrong. I'm so sorry.
That's not my
Xander.
guess. No.
I'm so sorry.
Jordan, get this one wrong so we can make it more dramatic.
Is
Yeah,
it
let
the
us know the wrong
is it the
answer so we don't
canceled
guess it,
Earthbound
guys.
64?
Earthbound on
ding, 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 ding.
Switch.
All right, so we're going to the third.
Third one. Yep. Yeah, I knew I should have guessed that on the last one.
Me
Yeah, I
too,
should've
Jordan.
too.
I had it the last time, but I was like, you know what? Maybe it might be a different game in that
Yeah,
series, but
yeah.
nope, I got it now.
Wait, Perry, are you sure?
So I'm okay. So hold on.
He's
real
cheating.
quick. I'm not cheating. Alex, did you guess?
I just guessed.
Okay,
That
you
one
guessed.
sounded even more like my answer.
So, I think I'm going to allow this.
Y'all are wrong.
Well, this is actually
It's the HD version.
Oh,
no.
my
This is actually
gosh.
this is Legend of Zelda: Phantom Hourglass.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. So everyone got it wrong, huh?
Okay.
You're despicable.
But here's the thing. I mean, technically, they were on DS, sound chips and everything. But I think that Wind Waker song is. It is so close.
Nope,
It's very
we all
close.
got it wrong,
Honestly,
Perry.
No, it's
honestly,
not the same game.
I was
wrong.
not trying to troll.
I'm gonna
I
hold
was
that
not
as
trying
a
to troll.
Yeah,
grudge.
sure. Well, it's funny because that was my thought process was like maybe I should wait, and then that last song sounded way more like Wind Waker to me. So that's why I was like, all right, let's
Right.
roll with it.
Well, I think that those melodies are similar, or even possibly very close to the same thing. What do you guys think?
No, we got it
Harry,
wrong.
if they're different games, like I imagine that the music isn't exactly the same. So yeah, even if
It's not exactly the same. I know that
really,
for sure.
Even if it's really close, I think it's just a really good question. Like,
All right.
yeah.
All right, so
that was a good one. Did
so-
Jordan get it right?
No, I said Wind Waker as well.
No, everyone
Okay,
said
good.
Wind Waker, so
All right.
everyone got -1. So Xander,
did
you're back to-
Xander guess twice?
got that.
Did he double down on
No.
Wind Waker?
No.
Oh, I don't think so. Did you?
I did
Yeah,
not.
yeah.
No. I
He's
abstained.
like,
Wind
I'll
Waker
be
again.
damned. This is Wind Waker.
Well, I heard it the second time, and I was like,
Are you sure, Harry? And he puts it again.
Yeah.
Dang it, Xander. No, I'm sure.
The Wind
That's
Waker
hilarious.
2.
I'm sorry, Casey, but you guessed wrong twice. You said Zelda Waker first, and then you said Wind Waker second.
Dang it.
That is really good.
By the way, yeah, that's the new Zelda. It's called Zelda Waker.
Zelda
it's like a
Waker.
takeoff of like the
It's when you wake up.
Sleeping Beauty.
It's this weird Groundhog's Day gimmick where you have to like get Zelda out of bed. And every time she does it, she seals you away. You have to like wait 1,000 years to come back.
Well, they already did the Groundhog's Day thing, didn't they? With
They
Majora's
did.
Mask.
They did.
I think we have to officially call the Link's Awakening remake Zelda Waker. Even though Zelda's not in it, it doesn't really. But there is some waking.
But she
Yeah.
needs
It's
to
like
wake up.
You do
Yeah,
wake
you're right.
up.
Zelda's totally not in that
It's
game,
like
is she?
Metroid 2, Samus Returns. It's Metroid 2, Return of Samus. It's
Right.
they just do the whole
I like it.
Awakening of Link.
Awakening of Link. Link wakes up.
He's alive.
Falling asleep.
All right, so the
I believe
leaderboards
we
here.
had 5, 4, 3, 2, right? And now it's
Now
4,
it's
3, 2, 1.
in last place, Xander with 1.
Makes me so mad.
Second to last, we got me with 2. And then we've got Jordan with 3, and then Alex with 4. So it's still tight race here.
Really close game. Yeah.
Alex
So-
can win. I just want to
and-
beat Jordan.
And we're 3 songs through, right? So we got 2 more.
2 more.
All right, let's.
All
let's
right.
roll.
Remember, you do not have to guess. Just remember, everyone. So here is the third game. This is going to be really interesting. So here we go.
What?
That's such a short sample, Harry.
What?
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I've heard
Yeah, that didn't-
ringtones longer than that.
That didn't help me out one iota.
Man.
Nothing, huh?
No.
Really?
Nope.
Did you expect an answer, Perry?
Yeah.
I 100% expected an answer.
You also prefaced it with, "This is gonna be interesting."
It is.
We can't.
And last time you
re-listen to
said
the
that, we all
same
lost
sample,
a point.
Yeah, we all got
It is.
negatives.
Yep. It was interesting, right? Okay, so I guess we're going straight to this. So everyone, get your ears ready. Clean them out. Do you guys clean your ears out with Q-tips?
You mean
You
cotton
shouldn't.
swab?
Well,
Nope.
you should.
Q-tips.
You shouldn't.
It's bad
I
for
know,
you.
But I
do
do,
you?
yes.
I didn't say should you. Yes, I do.
Every day.
It's one of
and
the
I should-
simple joys of my whole life.
It
that no
feels
one's
so
ever gonna
good,
take away
man.
from me.
It feels so
yes,
good.
I know. I know. It's like I've done it for 16 years. I'm not gonna stop.
You've seen
Like,
those
it doesn't-
videos of like the people who like get their ears cleaned professionally, and there's like cottons. Like,
Oh yes,
God.
my friend did that actually in high school because
Yeah.
he never cleaned his ears. Disgusting.
Overrated.
Anyway, here's a second sample of the fourth game. Here we go.
yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I
No
feel like I'm
guesses?
close, but I'm not quite.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't
That
know.
just goes to show you, man. Sometimes you just think that
Perry's like,
stuff is
everyone's
gonna
gonna
be.
get this one. We're gonna get more negatives.
I didn't say that. I didn't
Phantom
say I was gonna get
Hourglass,
that.
Nerf.
I was just
It's
expecting.
okay, Perry. You can look down upon us.
Yeah. With
not
your
looking down
vast
upon you.
knowledge in our
Yeah, your
Or
vast
your
knowledge of
Cotton
backwards
swab
music.
cloud.
Perry, you've outdone yourself here. This is really good. These are good games. Like you're choosing good games, a good track. Like this is challenging.
Wow.
Kudos to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Oh, you get an extra point.
Oh.
I knew it.
Just kidding. Okay.
I won't.
All
give
right.
in.
So no guesses. Unbelievable. All right. So here is the third and final. And then after that, I'll just I'll have to run it. I'll just play. Oh, you know what I'll do? I'll play the real song. A snippet of the real song, not in reverse. So here is the third one.
Looks like we got another goose egg on the board for Case.
Okay.
I have a
goose egg on the board. Alex.
I have a spontaneous guess, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm too scared.
I made a guess.
Oh, this is so tough. This is so tough, Alex. Okay. So did anyone else guess?
No.
We've got a guess in?
We do have a guess in
Who?
from Alex,
All right, all right.
but I don't want to reveal what he said.
I'm gonna send you a guess, but I'm not like. This is not a guess. I'm not crediting this. You know, like I just.
Okay, so if you get it right, you're not getting a point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, then you just want to guess what it is.
Okay.
Oh, here. Oh, I wish you would have guessed.
No!
That's what it is.
Dang it!
Why didn't you guess? Oh.
Dang it!
And so this game is actually Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon.
Oh,
Really? Wow.
Come on.
So Alex, I know Alex, but that's not the same.
So the Panda Man. Oh,
How
They
would
don't
I-
have. They don't have the same ringtone, do they?
It was backwards.
Does he get a negative point?
He gets a negative point.
Yeah,
No,
but
the
bring it
the
down.
ringtone.
But
in
hold
Luigi's
on,
Mansion
can you
is
guys clear
very-
this? Because okay, so
100%
Xander,
this is my thing.
you're the
I
Luigi's
promise you.
Mansion guy, Xander.
Yeah.
I'm pegging you as that guy.
It is not the same ringtone at
Okay.
all.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So
I've
Xander
never
didn't
really
take a
played for
guess,
the first
right?
one.
Yes.
Nope.
Did
I took a
Jordan?
guess, but
He
it
took
wasn't
a. I
official.
didn't. I didn't take a guess. Xander took a for fun guess. Did you get it?
Yeah.
I got
he
it
did
right.
Get it.
Yeah.
Oh damn. Yeah.
I know.
See, well, here's the thing. So usually the reason, if I have a snippet really tiny, is probably because the song is so tiny. So that's.
yeah,
I didn't want to say that while you guys were guessing.
It's
That
about
makes
but
5
for
seconds.
future reference, that's a hint there. And I just thought, that's like, to me, that's the most. First, well, the Luigi's Mansion theme is just unbelievable. I love the whole, like, the music to that is one of my biggest influences, like in my own work, and that dun 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 dun, that ringtone is just amazing
So,
in Dark Moon.
My Luigi's Mansion senses went off with the very first snippet, but I wasn't 100% certain. And then I thought Dark Moon with the second one because the Luigi's Mansion theme is a lot more upbeat in Dark Moon. And then with the third one, I was like, it has to be that. But I really.
But I'm not gonna guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I just
Trust
wasn't
in your
confident enough.
Luigi's
He
Mansion.
didn't want to risk
Dark
that
Moon
point, man.
senses.
It's
I'm
important.
in last place, man. I have to play my cards
I
Well,
know.
poorly.
updated
apparently.
leaderboard here. We've got now Alex has come back to the field. You got to tie it first, Jordan, Alex at 3, then me at 2, and then Xander at 1.
Okay.
But this could all
So
it
it comes
could be
down to the
one
last
good match
game
right
again.
here.
No runaway, baby.
Oh,
No
man.
runaway.
This is unwinnable now.
All right.
Oh well.
No, I believe so. If Alex or Jordan gets this correct on the first try, then they will tie for the win.
They get that dub.
No pressure.
No pressure.
Or you guys
All right,
can
so you guys
both get
ready?
it wrong. I'll get it right, and then I lock in a win, or at
I
least
love
a
it.
tie for a win. So, but don't worry,
Where's
that,
Andrew's coming back?
that's not gonna happen.
Hmm.
I mean, I've got I'm not taking a guess right now because it would be too much of a shot in the dark. But I'm hoping this next song puts me in the right track.
If you
here,
wanted to
right
send
snip.
me a guess,
going
I
for
won't
it, guys.
Say,
I'm
I won't
going
say
for it.
anything. I won't say anything about it, and I won't tell you if you're right or wrong. But if you want to say it, so you can say you knew it.
Nah, I'll wait.
All right. So just to make things
Harry, I submitted no
interesting,
guess.
Xander got it correct.
Yes!
Oh.
Ooh.
Amazing. So that jumped into the lead, right?
So that puts him at 4 points in the lead. I
should have guessed
now.
Luigi's Mansion, man.
Wow.
That makes me so mad.
I know. Can you believe it? I know. All right. All right. So here we go for the second one. Are you guys ready?
Yep.
All right, I got it now.
Jordan,
Which
how you
was
doing,
not
buddy?
the game I initially thought at first. So.
Casey's guess is in,
Yeah.
and he is 100% not incorrect. So yeah, he got it right.
Yeah, I was like, wait.
Yeah, Casey, you know, like once you hear it, you're like, oh, it's absolutely that game.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Okay, I put it
so
against
now,
Perry.
so now let's go over a
right.
quick leaderboard update here.
All right, and Jordan got it right as well.
Boo! Well, there. Never mind.
Just before your update, Case, go ahead.
Yeah. Well,
Why'd you do that, Jordan? Why'd you do that?
well, is Mr.
Spoil your
Panda
fun.
got it? Does he have a guess or?
No, I don't have a guess.
All right. So right now we've got big old jerk. Oh, I mean Jordan, number 5. I
I was
saw,
like, I'm not playing the game.
Yeah, I just put J down, so I got a little mixed up there.
Gotcha.
He's got 5, and he is the champ. Then you've got Xander and myself tied at 4 for
I
second
should have
place.
guessed Luigi's Mansion.
But Alex can still tie it up and have a 3-way
So-
tie for second.
Alex, there's no reason for you not to guess right now.
Well, no,
You could. Yeah.
because he
Because
could
he'd
wait
have
to.
to guess now.
Well, if he wants to win, he
If he
might
wants
just
to
want
tie-
a
if he
nice
wants to
second
tie,
place.
If he wants to tie Jordan.
How you feeling? Do you have like an idea, or do you need like that third one to kind of get somewhere?
So you can take a Hail Mary guess to tie for first, or you can wait one more and tie
Take
for
a
second.
calculated guess and tie with
It's
the
up to you.
boys.
And I can't listen to it again, can I?
Nope. I'm sorry.
I
It has
say
to be
you
At
Yeah.
this
let
point,
him.
I've forgotten what it sounds like.
I could do it.
It's a great game.
Maybe not in reverse though.
All right.
Sing it,
Okay,
Casey.
I would love for Casey to try to sing it in reverse.
Okay, so then I'm gonna play the third one then. Okay, so you can shoot for second.
Yeah, sure.
Second one was more helpful.
I agree.
No way.
Oh,
no
yeah, big
way.
time.
Second one. No way.
Big
I heavily disagree.
The second
Play the
half,
second one again.
the second half of the third clip, I don't think is helpful at all. The beginning of the last clip you just played, Perry, was really helpful.
It's but
All
that's
right,
everything.
yeah.
That second
I'm
clip gave it
putting
away
in my
for
guess,
sure.
Perry. Okay, 3,
All right.
2, 1.
Bombs away.
And you got it right. What is it, Alex?
Super Mario Sunshine.
All right, so we got
Man, look at that close game.
three.
So
three
Wait, does that
tied.
mean that it's 5-4-4-4?
5, 5, 5, 5.
Oh man.
Isn't that what happened
Do you
last
have
time?
any
It
more?
was-
And you know what?
Please?
I should have freaking guessed Wii Sports, and I'd be well, I'd be tied.
And I shouldn't have guessed Luigi's Mansion because why would I know the ringtones?
Why wouldn't
Way to
you,
go,
dude?
Alex. You didn't study hard
Xander
enough.
should have guessed.
Nope. Did not
He
prepare.
should have
for
guessed.
this.
I'm
Dark
actually
Moon.
kind of ashamed because this one was catered for me to win. Like 4
I
of
know.
the
Think
5
about
games
if you
here.
wouldn't-
I mean, 4 of the
I
5
don't rub
games
it
were
in your face,
Earthbound,
but you
so.
did guess Earthbound.
All right, with the exception of the Super Nintendo, for obvious reasons.
He
you know,
got
Wii
off
Sports,
to a slow start. Give him a
Phantom
break.
Hourglass, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and Mario Sunshine. Those are all games that I played growing up. So this is a little embarrassing that.
Hey, it's okay.
Jerkwad. I mean Jordan.
The only reason I came back was to make you guys feel shame, and I was successful. So
Yay!
I'm happy to come back anytime if that's how Xander's gonna feel after the episode.
Well,
We
I was
should
going to
just spin
say,
off our own show, Jordan. With us.
Jordan. I
Putting
love
each
Jordan
other
saying,
down.
I'm happy to come back anytime. Heck, I win these every single time.
well, I was just going to say it was a pleasure having you on the show. You know,
yeah.
maybe next year or, you know, a couple years down the road, we might have you back on. But
Or just do it
amazing.
next week again, guys.
yeah,
I should've
until
guessed
Jordan
Luigi's
loses.
Mansion Dark
Every
Moon.
single
That's
week.
Until
Same
Jordan
thing.
loses.
Just
because
rename your
I-
podcast.
I don't even know if
Yeah.
I feel
That's
any
amazing.
pressure anymore. Like I don't. If you guys want to get three wins in a row, you can go for it. But
Look at this
That's
guy.
amazing.
I'm sitting on
do
the
it.
Wow.
Guinness
Do
World
it.
Record
Do
over here.
it.
So
Jokes aside, like if we had counted the Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon vote that will haunt me forever. I did tie you, even though that point doesn't count. So,
Xander, I think it's funny you using a phrase like "jokes aside" when you guessed Earthbound on the first one.
Okay, Perry, can you play that first clip again one more time, just so I can like state my case that it sounds like the beginning to that.
Oh my god, that is
sequence.
hilarious!
I would like to get walked through this actually.
It sounds like the da 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 da.
Maybe like the first 3 keys.
It's way too fast. It's way too fast.
I see what you mean.
But now
but
that
the
I
rest
know
of the
that
song sounds like F-Zero.
Now that I know it's F-Zero, it's definitely F-Zero. But my initial thought was it was Earthbound.
The instrument playing the melody, that is on the Earthbound. Like that is one of the Earthbound instruments. So I totally get it.
I'm conditioned, okay? It's not my fault.
Let's allow some more time for some practicing with you guys, and then just remember the rules is one from each system, and these are games that we all should know. So it shouldn't be that hard to research. Just
Earthbound.
FYI. There's only what, like 1,000 Nintendo first-party games.
I hope that the other NWR staffers don't listen to this one because they're gonna make fun of me forever now. Actually, it doesn't matter. Jordan's
I'm like
Casey,
I'm typing it right
too.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's already exporting that audio clip.
I know. Yeah, get a load of this guy. He thought that this was Earthbound. That's amazing. All right, well, thank you so much for coming on again, Xander and Jordan, for another Mystery Reversery.
Mystery Reversery.
Always a
I look
pleasure.
forward to taking the belt from Jordan.
Yeah. Jordan, are you a pro wrestling fan?
I was really into wrestling back in the day, back when I was in high school. I follow it a little bit now, but
That was like when Earthbound.
So you
came out,
have
right?
the professional wrestling gigantic belt.
if we actually have one for fantasy football.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Do you have it?
I do. I won this year.
That's
amazing.
This guy
isn't
just
it?
wins
Are
everything.
you? Wait, hold
doesn't
on.
he?
Hold on.
Yeah.
Are you wearing it right now? Otherwise, because I'm gonna have to. We're gonna have to call this misdeal.
I'm gonna go put it on. I'm gonna listen to the Earthbound soundtrack and just think about how much it sounds like F-Zero.
Play it backwards, though. Play it backwards.
I will. That's the only way to listen to that now, I think.
That is so funny.
I will
amazing.
say, after knowing that it's F-Zero, it does not sound like Earthbound. But the
Well, the
Even though you
first
told me to
step is
play it again.
acceptance, so you're already halfway
That's okay.
home.
Well, thanks again, guys. Thanks for playing, Alex. That was fun with you there.
Thanks for having
Mr.
me. Good
You
game.
almost won.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not that good, but I almost won, and I guessed on
I
and let's
got
take-
all of the series.
Should
Good.
have got that Luigi's Mansion point.
Let's take a quick break, and when we come back, Xander and Jordan are going to be gone, and then
They go.
we're just going to close out the show. So thanks again. See you later, guys.
Take care.
See you later. I'm gonna go put it on. I'm gonna listen to the Earthbound soundtrack and just think about how much it sounds like F-Zero.
Okay, that was a good game, and I cannot believe that Jordan won.
I'm starting
Again.
to really hate that guy.
Rigged.
Yeah, yeah, he won again. He came back and he won again, and yeah, it's fun. That was fun, and I think everyone made some mistakes. Everyone learned. Everyone became a better man because of it.
Except Perry, because he didn't
Yeah,
play.
yeah. I was gonna say, except for you, you just sat there. You didn't even
Yeah.
keep
It wouldn't have
score.
happened if it wasn't for me.
Would you have gotten those right?
No. Nope.
Yeah. Well, at least you're honest.
I mean, some of them I might. Probably not though.
You would have gone F-Zero, because I think that was pretty obvious.
Earthbound.
Yeah, that one.
Except for one person.
So funny.
That is funny. But Alex, thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Yes.
Thank you very much for having me.
Oh, yeah.
It's always a
fun having you
pleasure.
here. Please tell everyone where they can find you.
You can find
all
me,
your places.
You can find me on the YouTubes. I am at Mr. Panda 2002. So it's youtube.com/Mr. Panda 2002. I'll spell it out. MRPANDA 2002. That is also my Twitter handle at Mr.
Everyone
Panda 2002.
go subscribe.
Yep. Oh yeah. Subscribe.
And follow.
Yes, follow all that stuff.
He does so many cool things. He does lots of awesome video reviews.
Yes.
And he works at DarkStation.
Check me out at darkstation.com and you'll see all of my reviews there as well. And yeah, I talk a lot about Nintendo on everything, basically.
And that's why we like
follow,
you.
Subscribe. Almost at a 1K. So
woo!
Yeah.
Well, let's get them there, boys and girls.
Yeah,
on YouTube.
Get me there.
On YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet, man. Good for you, dude.
He's
that's
a climbing,
awesome.
baby.
Dude, that's crazy. The last time I saw, I think it was like seriously, like 200 or 300.
Yeah, I think I might have been
last
on
time I looked.
I might have been on like just 4 people, like you 3 and my wife. That might have been it.
Yeah.
Well, I've got
yeah,
like 250 accounts that I've logged in and subscribed to out. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
He doesn't need
seriously,
them.
Mr. Panda 2002. Check him out and subscribe because he has great content. And he's a good friend of the show.
Yes, a good friend of the show.
That's
and
right.
Yeah.
And you can find our Twitter if somehow you don't have it. It's at Talk Nintendo Pod. That's Talk Nintendo.
P-O-D.
P-O-D, like the cool band from 2001.
Puddle of dirt.
Puddle of dirt. And that'll do it for this week's episode. Thank you so much, Mick, for coming on. Check out his stuff, 4 Horses. Thank you so much for Xander and Jordan for coming on. I don't know their Twitter handles by heart.
Nintendo World Report.
Just check out at nintendoworldreport.com. Check out our YouTube and WRTV. And we will see everyone next week. Bye, Alex.
Thanks,
Bye,
Alex.
Casey. Don't die.
Baby's first RPG.
Hello. Nice to be here. Hello. Nice to be. Hello.
Hola.
No one will ever replace Reggie Fils-Aimé. Reggie.
His lips
Reggie is
are
gone.
ready.
He's leaving. Reggie is leaving. His body is post ready.
I've heard ringtones longer than that.
But why the graph paper?
I couldn't guess fast enough, Perry.